Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film family? Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Scott.
My name's Dion.
And Weapons is here. Weapons are here? Weapons is here. The name of the movie is Weapons. So Weapons is here, the new horror thriller written and directed by Zach Cregger, starring Josh Brolin and Julia Garner. In this episode, we're going to be discussing our thoughts, of course. We're going to have some listener thoughts. We're going to end the show with our Filmmies, which is our award show. And by the way, we will be spoiling this movie. So if you haven't seen it and you're not looking for spoilers, this is not the podcast for you. I'm sorry. Go watch it, come back, and then we'll graciously welcome you back. But before we get into all of that stuff, we first got to start with our general thoughts.
General thoughts?
Go ahead, Dion. What'd you think of Weapons?
I'm glad you said the little spoiler thing because I was afraid to do that too.
I know.
And I feel like it's almost self-explanatory that like we're gonna spoil it, but just in case someone doesn't know, just give them a little heads up.
Yeah.
But no, I actually really enjoyed it. Like I thought it was great. To me, it checks up all the boxes, the things I look for. Like nowadays when I watch new movies, like I want it to be original. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to feel predictable. I want interesting characters. And I'm a what's it called? I'm someone that really loves cinematography too. So like creative filmmaking and styles and different things that like, oh, I haven't seen that before. Like, oh, that's creative. Like, I wonder how they did that kind of shot. And it checked all those boxes. I don't think a movie has to have all those things for it to be good. Sometimes I'm just looking at least for like one of them. But to me, this movie had all those things that I was looking for. And I genuinely enjoyed the story. I'm curious to how, because we always preface this every time we do a horror movie that I'm the horror movie guy, you're not the horror movie guy. So I'm always interested to hear your perspective, just because I know you probably go into these movies with a different thought process of what to expect and like what you are looking for, what you aren't looking for. So what was your thoughts?
I loved it. I was super excited for this one. And like you said, I'm not a horror movie guy, so it's not common for me to be really excited for a horror movie. But to me, it's more like the thriller aspect that I was excited for. Like the hook of at 2:17, all the kids in the class got up out of their beds, went to the front door, went outside, and they never came back. That just grabbed me. Immediately, I was just like, what happened? I need to know. And then I saw the trailer, and it was giving me kind of Prisoners vibes, the Denis Villeneuve movie with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. And it did kind of have a similar feel to that. But almost for like half the movie, like one of my main points is it feels like two movies, like before and after the reveal of Gladys and the voodoo and like that stuff. The first half being like what happened to the kids, where are they, and then we find that out kind of halfway through and what's happening, and then it's the aftermath of all that, and that's like the second movie. And to me, like the second movie, as like the second half, I didn't like as much. And it's not that it's not good. It's not that it wasn't good. It was still great. It was gripping, but like I said, as not a horror movie guy, it's just the kind of stuff that's like not for me as much. It's more more of a horror movie. The first half is more like a thriller. And to me, like I said, they're both awesome. Yeah. But just the horror is less my kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, and I completely understand. It's funny you say the prisoner things. I don't know if you saw what Zach Cregger said in any of his interviews or any of his... I heard that he mentioned it, but I didn't really see exactly what he said.
He said that like after he watched Prisoners, when he was thinking about making this movie, that was his inspiration. He's like, I want this movie to feel like Prisoners.
That's it from the trailer.
And that's exactly,
I got it right away. Yeah.
And from watching the movie, I felt it too. I'm like, this feels like Prisoners. Josh Brolin's character kind of feels kind of like Hugh Jackman's character.
Yep.
A little bit, not the exact same character, but like you get that same kind of vibe. Because I mean, it's the same thing of like wanting to find your child.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like that same kind of a drive for a character. So yeah, I said the exact same thing when I walked out of the theater. I was saying to Elise, I was like, it kind of felt like Prisoners. So it's funny that you said that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. They're not exactly the same, and they shouldn't be exactly the same. It's not the same movie. It's not the same person making it. But I think like the feel was similar. The story structure was way different. I know we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later, but I thought it was super interesting. And I think the difference is, in Prisoners, it's Jake Gyllenhaal's like the cop, so we see like that kind of. Those are the two main things: the father of the daughter and the cop. This one we don't really. I guess there's Paul, the cop, but he's not really involved in the investigation. It's more him outside of it, and it's as opposed to the cop, it's the teacher that's involved, and how she's like trying to figure out what happened, even though she's not supposed to be, and then the trauma that she's gone through and going through after this, like all that stuff is just so interesting. You're totally right about all the boxes that it's checking, and it's an interesting point saying like you don't even need all of that to make it a good movie, but when you do, oh man, it's so good. The cinematography is a great point. Like that's something that in any movie, just generally, you're always looking for good cinematography, because every movie is visual, and it doesn't matter what it is. If you can make it look great, that's just a bonus.
100%. No, yeah, 100%. And like, I don't know why too. I don't know if you felt this. Maybe it was just a me thing. I kind of got like an 80s vibe. It felt like a Stephen King kind of, like, I don't know how many Stephen King movies you have that I've seen. That's why I'm not sure if you got that same kind of feeling.
I mean, I don't even know how many Stephen King. There's always movies that I read about afterwards, and I found out it's a Stephen King story, and I was like, oh, so I couldn't even tell you.
I think it's just because it's the element of kids, I think, because he does a lot, like a lot of his stuff has like kids, like Stand By Me is not a horror movie, but like I'm thinking like It and like those kind of things. It kind of gives me Stranger Things. Just anytime when it's like stuff around kids, it feels like, I don't know, 80s Stephen King to me for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it kind of gave me a little bit of those vibes for whatever reason. I don't know.
I could see it. I mean, also just you're right, kids, mystery, and like he likes to dabble in horror too. Like a lot of his stuff is scary stuff, and like not a monster, because Gladys, like she's not a monster, she's like a witch, I guess, and we'll talk more about her. But those are kind of again similar aspects, I guess, of like a Stephen King thing.
Well, you know what it is? I guess I'm thinking of It. I mentioned It, and It. I don't know if you know what it is. It's like a clown demon who tries to steal. Is like not trying to steal kids, but I guess he is. He's still trying to steal kids and kind of steal their souls. So it is kind of similar in that aspect. The movies are completely different. Like this isn't like It at all. But I think that aspect of like having like this figure and then it has involved with taking kids makes me just think of, I guess, It. So I guess that's kind of the connection I'm making.
Maybe. I mean, he didn't mention that as an influence, I don't think.
No, he
That's
didn't.
not what I've seen.
No, he didn't say that.
He mentioned Magnolia as an influence, mostly in the story structure. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't. It made me want to. We should do it for the podcast, especially for One Battle After Another is coming out, because the PTA movie. So I was like, definitely got to do it. It got me interested because I didn't know the story structure for Magnolia was like that.
Well, I actually watched it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Because I was interested. I mean, it's been on my list for a while, and then I heard Zach Cregger say that, and then I knew we were coming to talk about this, so I was like, why not? I wanted to watch a movie, so I was like, watch this one.
Okay, 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Well, I had time.
I will save your opinion though, just in case we do.
No, I'm not going to give you my opinion, but I'm just going to say, like story structure wise, it's not the same as this.
Okay.
I could see where he drew influence from it, like because this one is all one story.
Yeah,
and it's different people's perspective and at different times of the story that we're going through each person's perspective.
Yeah,
and it's not exactly like that in Magnolia. That one is kind of like multiple stories. Some of them are interconnected, some of them are kind of separate, but where they're all being told like throughout the movie at different checkpoints, kind of that we visit different characters. So that's kind of, it's not exactly the same, but I could see the influence there.
Okay, interesting. That makes sense. I saw in an interview, he also said that people asked if Pulp Fiction was an inspiration just because of that. Also, that is more similar in that you're seeing different perspectives and things kind of connect. But he was like, Pulp Fiction wasn't on my mind when I was writing this, but he was like, but when that movie came out, like it changed my life, like as someone that wanted to make films, as in like it was just one of my favorite movies. So just subconsciously it was probably on the mind, but I wasn't writing this thinking like I'm gonna do Pulp Fiction. Is what he said.
Yeah, that's funny. I do have another kind of Tarantino point.
Okay.
That I'll get to.
You can say it. Okay, yeah. No, save it. All right.
I'll save it. It's as one of my points as we go through the movie. So,
okay, yeah, cool, yeah.
So before that, we should get into the family meeting, though. We should hear what the film family thought of Weapons.
Let's hear from the family. Let's get into it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Welcome to the family meeting. Film family, we want to hear what you think of Weapons. And this week on our Instagram story, I asked the question. Actually, yeah, I guess I didn't ask what people thought of the movie. I asked if anyone had any theories on what happened to the kids.
It's a good question.
And we only got one response. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was, yeah.
I saw that. I saw the one response.
Kobe, no relation, said the PA Piper himself, R. Kelly, got.
Oh my god!
First of all, that made me laugh.
Yeah.
And so I reposted it with the picture of R. Kelly with that crazy fit, with the ridiculous belt buckle, and he's got like a do-rag over his fitted hat. Like it's just a criminal fit. But and then the next morning, Taj, my friend Taj, texted me. He's like, seeing this story without context is absolutely wild. Because I guess he hadn't seen the first one and the story expired.
Yeah.
So like for a few hours there's like the answer is there, but without the question. And I was like, oh snap. There's just a picture of R. Kelly saying that he himself got to the kids on our story with no context. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Ouch. But yeah, I mean, that's funny. No one else had any theories. See, because this is something that I kind of expected or I thought might happen, was not too many responses, because this movie
just came out.
You're right, it just came out, but also like it's more of like a film person's movie. I feel like it's not. I feel like it hasn't been marketed too much as like that mainstream, or it hasn't been marketed, but it hasn't caught on maybe to mainstream interest. But it's, as what I've seen so far, it's been super well received. We both loved it, so maybe it'll kind of gain that traction in the coming weeks. What do you think?
It's always tough to say, because I always try to use my sister as like a gauge, but then now I realize that my sisters are kind of part of this. They're not technically part of the film family. They're in the part of this if they. Well, yeah, that's true.
Sure they
I
are.
guess
What are
my
you talking about?
My sister did say 28 buns later, so that officially put her in the film family. My youngest sister hasn't said anything yet in one of these meetings, but I always go to them to be like, oh, are you guys checking for this kind of movie? But they're checking for every movie. You know what I mean? Like I went to the movies with them yesterday, and they're going to see Weapons today. So like they'll go back to back days to go to the movie theaters. They're not normal. So I have turned them. So I don't know, like, because when I saw the initial trailer for Weapons, I had the same feeling. He was like, oh, this looks sick, and they were like, oh man, have you seen the trailer for Weapons? It looks crazy. And I was like, is this mainstream, or is it just only we're seeing it? Like I don't actually know. That if you look at the views on the trailer though, for like their initial teaser that they put out, like the creepy voice talking about the 217, it's got it's got big numbers. So it did hit high on people's attention. I just don't know if it's mainstream.
Because when I went to watch the movie, Alexis wasn't able to come with me. I think she was working or something.
Yeah.
So I asked a few friends like if anyone wanted to go see it with me, and they were like I'd sent them the trailer saying like, I'm going to watch the movie. Do you want to come? And they're all like, oh, this looks sick. Like they never heard. Yeah. I guess they didn't say like, oh, I didn't know this was coming, but to me, I got that feeling. So that kind of was a gauge for me. I don't know. I just feel like it hasn't gotten super. Has it become? I mean, horror too is more like niche. Like it's rated R, so like you have to be 18 or over to go. Some people aren't really into horror, myself included. But I don't know. This one, like, if you watch the trailer, you should want to see this movie.
No,
the trailer
100%.
looks sick, and I'm here to tell you, go watch the movie. It's sick.
Oh yeah, and like just based off the showings I went for, like I went to go see like on the Thursday when it came out, and it was packed. Like there was literally only the first row that was open, and I actually saw it at 217 because on the first day they actually had showings at 217, which is cool. So
I saw that you post that, but I thought it was I thought they just did that. Like on the poster. I didn't know that was actually.
No, it was actually 217, and like it was absolutely packed. And then yesterday the day before I went to go see the movie Together, which is a different horror movie. Oh yeah, with Dave Franco and Allison Brie, and we were thinking about seeing Weapons, but I was like, let's just see Together, and you guys can see Weapons tomorrow. Because I just saw it. Not saying I wouldn't want to see it again, but I was like, we have an opportunity to see a different movie, and you guys can go see tomorrow. And it was packed, fully packed.
Together was?
Again. No. Weapons. Like literally,
like you could see that the seats were just it was full.
Yeah, like even if we
Okay.
wanted to go to that showing, there was no room for all three of us to sit together.
Damn.
So like the buzz, I don't know, the buzz is going. We'll see after this weekend and
So
the next how it goes. But
we just have to tap in and access those people. The film family maybe wasn't as interested, or maybe they just didn't have a specific theory. Like, did you have a theory going into what you thought might happen?
I didn't know which way it was going, to be honest. Like, it's one of those things where like I go back and forth with this too, and I like that Zach Cregger said this in the trailer. You kind of get that sense, like there's no misdirection of like I don't like it when a movie tries to make it feel like it's not supernatural and then the reveal is supernatural. There's some movies, I don't want to call them out because it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say that there's some movies where like if this movie was like, oh, what happened to the kids? What happened to the kids? And you're like, okay, you're thinking all these theories. Okay, are they here? Are they here? Oh, it was actually just a witch that did it. And I was like, oh, okay. Now it almost, in a sense, it almost feels lazy. I don't think this movie, but it's in other senses where it's just like, I can't think of a good thing that happened to the kids. Let's just say a witch did it. Sometimes that just feels lazy when it's just like, let's just say a ghost did it, versus like actually thinking of like a creative way to why. But with this, like kids leaving at 2:17, I'm like, this has to be supernatural. There's no way, especially them all running like that.
The way
too.
that they're running with their arms out, yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was like they all left at that certain time because maybe something happened, like they got threatened or I don't know something. But them all leaving their house running like that, I'm like, this is supernatural. So there was no like misleading with that, which I like that the Elise trailer did that.
Okay, so you were expecting
something supernatural.
Something supernatural.
But I just had I had no idea what. I literally had no theories.
See, that's the difference between you and me because you're you've seen all these movies, so you kind of see the, I don't want to say tropes, but like the kind of storylines that are typical, and like you say, like they may lead you this way and then take you this way and might not make you think it's supernatural. To me, I didn't have any of those like expectations, like is it supernatural or not. I guess I wasn't even thinking that. You're totally right, like seeing them all run out with their arms like that, like it's obviously something, but to me I was like, it could have been something like a chip that got implanted in their head or something, and like they're have control of their body, like someone has control of their body, as so it's like a sci-fi thing rather than supernatural.
True.
But I generally was so hooked because I had no idea where it was going. That's why it had me so hooked at, like, just from that headline, I was like, okay, I need to know where this is going because I'm expecting it to be unpredictable, and I had no clue until the reveal happened what it was.
Yeah, no, and I like that. And then obviously, like as we're talking about the trailer, like literally, I think it's one of the best trailers of the year.
Yeah,
just like hands down. And we've talked about this so many times. And like it was funny because as the movie was starting, I was seeing trailers for other movies. I'm like, I just feel like you just showed me the whole, like, why do we have to do this? Like it's one of my biggest pet peeves, and you know this. It's just like I just don't understand the sense of just showing so much of the plot to the point of like when I go see that movie, what is the surprise? You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand. Like in this movie, like we're already in spoiler territory, but like the comedy, for example, that's something that was not shown in the trailers. And there's you didn't go in, like, so you know when you see a trailer to death and they keep showing the same joke, and then you see it in the movie and it's just not even funny anymore because like you know exactly where it's coming. They saved all the jokes. Save your jokes, and then when the jokes come, it's like, oh shit, I didn't know this was gonna be funny. Like that is such a relieving feeling when and a joke comes up you didn't expect it.
Yeah, 100%. You're totally right, but it's tough talking about the trailers because the point of a trailer is gets people to watch the movie, right? And for this one, you don't have to include any of that stuff because the hook is so good. You just give them the hook of like, these kids left, where are they? We got to figure it out. And then you show some creepy stuff of, you know, Josh Brolin getting pissed and the teacher maybe drinking, and like, so you could see we didn't know that there was going to be anything with the cop, the homeless guy, like the principal, and Gladys. That was the biggest thing, the fact that they left her completely out. Because to me, when she came around the corner, I guess I could just mention this now.
Yeah, when
she came around the corner to meet Marcus, the principal, I knew it was her. I knew it was, again, I didn't know what exactly it was, but I was like, okay, this is Alex's aunt.
Yeah,
he's the only kid that's still around. She said, you know, his parents are sick, they can't be here. I'm like, okay, and she just looked creepy and weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's her. But
And we kind of seen her before too. Like from a distance. We saw what's his name? Not Alex, James. Remember when James was in the forest and he saw her?
Was that actually her?
I think it was her because she had like red hair.
I thought that was because there's the dreams, right, that Justine and Archer have, and then they see the clown, like the clown face, basically. I thought that was the same thing with James. I thought he saw it was like a vision of like this creepy spirit. I didn't think
I could
that
be
was
wrong.
actually her.
I just made that connection. I could be wrong. I assumed that was her. Like that was almost like a reveal, and then when they showed her later, they were like, oh, like they're letting you know. But I could be wrong though. I just assumed that.
See, but I mean, yeah, we don't know. I assumed it was like a hallucination almost. But what I did like about like I said, when she comes around the corner, I knew right away. I was like, okay, it's her somehow. But I still think it was well done, and that's not a bad thing. That's kind of like your half reveal.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the person that's responsible for this, but you still don't know what's going on exactly. But he doesn't waste time and then just string you along and be like, okay, you know that it's her, but like, I'm going to pretend like you don't actually know it's her. And we're going to keep telling the story as if you don't know. Cause like the whole first half of the movie is like, you're not supposed to know. Right. So he's giving you little hints and like little weird stuff is happening. The lady comes into her car and cuts her hair and you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like that stuff is all great. But as soon as we know that it's her, you can't do that anymore. And he doesn't. That's right after that is when she goes to Marcus's house and does the ritual and he kills his partner and there's the reveal. So it's like a mini reveal. Okay, this is her. And then now I know that you know that. Let me explain to you right afterwards how she's doing it. So it's like a little appetizer for the real reveal. I thought it was great.
No, it really is. And it's like you get, like you said, it's the reveal of showing her, and then your intrigue is like, okay, what can she do? Like that, then that's what it becomes. It's like, well, I don't know what she's capable of. I think it's her, but like, how is she doing this? Like, what are her powers? And then that's that slow reveal. I'm like, and then you start to see it's like, oh snap, yeah, like she's a witch, I guess. She never really says what she is. She didn't say how old she is or like where she came from, which is fine. You don't have to. But I'm just assuming she's some kind of ancient witch.
Yeah, I think so too, because I mean, there's little hints, I guess, that she says. Like you say, they never say exactly how old she is, but she does say like, I'm very sick. I can't go to the hospital. They can't help me there. I thought your parents would make me better, but they're not enough. Like I need all these kids. To me, I think it's like she's drawing the life force, I guess, out of these people. So like having someone young that has a lot of like juice and life left makes sense that you could like steal their life from them.
100%. Yeah.
And she said, nothing from the hospital has helped me in a very, very long time. So again, we don't know how old, but like, she got the salt line. She's got the candles on the floor. Like she's clearly a witch.
No, 100%. Like some old school. Yeah, just some old school witch stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely witchcraft. And it doesn't need to be explained, but it is interesting. And to tie it all together, to finish the point, I guess, on the whole trailer thing, it's just like, that wasn't in there. I'm not going to call it a specific studio, but some studios would have been like, you got to go see Sinners. Look, you see the perspective from all these different characters, and then show Gladys, and like I feel like they just show too much of that stuff, way too much, and it's just you don't need. Just have a good, interesting hook of the movie, and then pull people in. I think Sinners did it really good. Like I think it was a really good hook. The only thing that I'd even take away, because I'm trying to think of other great shows that came out, was just kind of showing who turned into vampires. That could have been held tight. I'm thinking that because I'm just seeing the poster, so it's reminding me of the trailer for that. Don't show anybody that turned into a vampire, so when they turn, it's a surprise.
Right.
I'm not going to say just for anyone that hasn't seen Sinners, but like, you know what I'm talking about. There's certain people you saw in the trailer that had teeth, and it was like, okay, I know this person can be turned into a vampire. There's no stakes in the sense of like, oh, are they going to be okay? I'm like, no, they're turning into a vampire. Like, I don't have to worry about this character at all because I already know they're turning into a vampire. And I just don't like that. I want to feel like, oh, I don't know, is this character going to die? Is this something going to happen to them? But like, if I just go in knowing that like at least 4 of these characters are turning into vampires, then I'm like, all right, well, I don't even have to like care about their storyline. If they're about to fall off a bridge, I'm like, you're gonna turn into a vampire later. Like, I'm not
Right.
worried
I know
about it.
you're
It just
not
takes
dying.
away. Yeah, exactly. It just takes away
Yeah.
from that kind of stuff.
But it depends on the movie, right? So like,
Yeah.
you know, if it's like Superman, for example, you know, in the trailer they're gonna show they left a lot of stuff out of that. That was
Yeah,
actually a
that was
really
a good
trailer
trailer.
too.
Yeah.
That I remember we talked about we were kind of nervous because they did show a lot, but there's
Yeah.
just a lot of other stuff. Like there's a lot in that movie. So there's a
Mhm.
lot that they left out as well. But I mean it's less so of like a hook in the sense of what's going to happen. Are these people going to die? Is this person going to turn into a vampire? It's more just like giving you a sense of the feel of the movie, the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Because like it's Superman. You already know what this is. You already know what the story is. But like, is it going to be, is it something fresh that hasn't been done before? Like that is what the trailer, I feel like, gives you the interest. It's less so a hook of plot wise what's going to happen. More like, what am I walking into? What's the kind of movie that this is going to be? So which can also be done poorly and well. Like there's levels to no matter whatever kind of trailer you're going to do. But for a thriller like this, they gave us just enough. They have a great hook, so you don't need anything more.
No, 100%. My last point on trailers, because I don't want to go on a complete tangent on it, but
Well, I
think
went to one of my points into this. So
okay,
it's
so
not
no,
just
it works. Yeah, but Fantastic Four, I like the trailer just because they saved Galactus. That was the hook. We never show you Galactus in the trailer. I still don't think they ever show you. I don't seeing trailers as much anymore, but that's kind of the hook. Hey, go in IMAX and see Galactus on the biggest screen. They were hyping that for a bit. There's your hook. There's a movie called Walking the Line or something like that. It's a Stephen King movie that's coming out. It's based off a Stephen King book where it's about these kids. They just have to walk on a line, and if you stop walking at a certain pace, you get shot.
Oh, I've seen the trailer for this. Yeah.
My issue with this trailer is they should go so far in the future. There's like 30 kids walking, and they literally show clips of like when they're like down to like maybe like 5 of them. You can't see some of them, but I'm like, okay, well, I know these kids are making it to the end. Why? In a survival movie, do not show me who is making it near the end. Now, throughout the whole movie, when there's kind of a scene when they're like kind of like, oh, are they gonna stop walking? I know they're not.
Yeah.
And that was just like, I almost threw my popcorn. I'm like, why are you showing me so much? That's my last bit on trailers.
That's a good point.
For this
that movie
episode.
looks interesting.
It
That movie
does.
looks interesting.
And I'm hoping I forget who I saw.
Yeah,
I don't want to see another trailer.
I already don't remember.
Yeah. Hey, it's
So,
hit or miss with
I'm
Stephen
good.
King books. Sometimes they're buns. Sometimes they're good.
Well, that's
It's hard. Yeah.
Not just Stephen King.
Well, it's
That's
just because
anything.
there's so many Stephen King adaptations that it just happens to be that way. But no, I think it's a scale though. It's Shawshank Redemption or it's buns.
Yeah.
It's
There's
Green
no-
Mile or it's buns.
It's Stand By Me.
Yeah, or it's buns. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
damn.
a high bar. And
Okay.
it's like if you don't get it right, then people The Shining, is like he's got a high bar, and then there's movies that fall hard. It's like, damn, did you read the book? Did you read the same book?
The Shining is an interesting one, because this is that's another influence on this movie.
Oh, 100%.
And the biggest thing that I noticed, I didn't even hear Zach Cregger talk about it. Maybe he did, but what I read actually is 217, like the time that the kids left, right, is the room number of the cursed room in The Shining. And to me, what I noticed was like the shot, like when Alex's parents are chasing him when he crosses the salt line, and they're breaking through the door, and then she sticks her head in through the hole.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is clearly a nod to that.
Yeah, I gotta correct you though on the number though. It's not 217. It's close.
Is it not?
It's 237.
Oh, I read it was 217. Someone online
left you astray, man. It's room it's room 237. I thought the same thing too. I was thinking, I was like, oh wait, I just realized especially after hear Johnny's scene happen, I was like, oh snap. I was like, wait, is the time? And I was like, no, it's 237. But that's probably on purpose though. He probably wanted it close, but because he could have made it 237. But I think he'd be a little too on the nose. He's like, I don't want to be all over the what's it called, Stephen King's jock, so let me just move the number down a little bit.
Another thing about the 217 that I read was so the part where Josh Brolin in his dream and he looks above his house and there's the gun, right, that appears and it says 217 on it. Apparently so there was a vote in the US a few years ago about banning assault rifles, and there was 217 votes against that.
Oh, I didn't realize
so maybe
that.
this is Zach Cregger, like, kind of, I don't know, communicating his stance on gun control.
Maybe I did see him say also that this movie isn't political. So,
Okay.
But maybe he's just saying that just to backtrack. He's like, yeah, I actually don't want it to. I don't want to answer these questions. The movie's not political.
Well, that's literally the only thing. It's just one
Yeah.
thing with the gun, because that was something like when it happened, I was like, okay, this is a dream, but like we never see any other guns in the movie. Well, I guess that's such. We see a handgun from Paul the cop.
That's true.
But no other reference to assault rifles or anything. So when that popped up, that kind of confused me. But
to me, I just looked at it as like he's just showing a weapon because it's just like
movies.
It's kind of
weapons.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just gonna say that's like a subtle way of doing a Family Guy moment. Hey, he comes from comedy, so maybe he was thinking about Family Guy. That was inspiration for me. A Family Guy. I want to have my Family Guy moment.
Okay, yeah,
but I didn't want to. I think someone probably said. I think Gladys said weapons. I think she said weapons at one point.
Yeah,
I think she called the kids her weapons.
Yes, there definitely was. Yeah, someone that referenced the kids being like I think they said weaponized though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
someone definitely did say weaponized, but I just can't remember if someone should have just said weapons. You know what? I feel like it's just the cadence of when it really feels like a Family Guy moment, where it's just like almost like a pause, where it's just like, what is she using them as? Well, they're her weapons, and then like no one says anything for like 2 seconds. That feels very like I'm always gonna go back to Rush Hour.
Oh yeah,
that's the most egregious case of someone sliding in a Family Guy moment.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean,
or Mission Impossible.
Tone of that movie, Mission Impossible. Yeah,
the second one. Yeah,
that was a big one. Yeah. Well, this isn't Mission Difficult.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is Mission Impossible.
Exactly. But
that's perfect.
No, but the Shining thing, yeah, that was definitely here. That's a trope too. And so I go back and forth where sometimes if it's a bad movie, I'm like, how dare you reference The Shining? But this movie was good. So I'm like, okay, you can reference The Shining. That's cool.
Yeah. You can have her stick her face through the door.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it. Everybody does it. It's the most done thing in horror movies. Because it's awesome. It's the most like that movie came out like 40 years ago. People are still doing it. Like,
yeah. It's so iconic. Like,
it is.
It's the poster. Like everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
Jack Nicholson's a beast in that movie.
Yeah.
Absolute beast.
Yeah. Okay, so story structure.
Yeah.
What do you think of it in general? I mean, I think it's pertinent.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for us to structure this episode in the same way. So like we're gonna go through each person's perspective. But right now, just generally, what do you think? Like you said, they didn't say in the trailers that this is kind of how the story goes. So I didn't know this coming in. What'd you think?
I really liked it, and I'm not going to go on trailers again, but but no, I it was a great surprise. I just like any kind of story structure change. Like you don't have to have it in a movie, but it's just like, oh, this was actually the end, and then we're at the beginning. Like one of my favorite series, if we're sticking in horror, is like Saw, and Saw is like the master of that. Of just like you're watching something, is this in the future? Is this in the past? Then you find out later. Then this, I just thought it was great. Not only just to see the different perspectives, I just like how they interacted with each other too. Because that is the aspect of like a Tarantino movie. And it's not just Tarantino, but like it's on the mind now because we're just talking about him. Of like who you see matters. Like when you first see James, like the druggie, asking her for change, it's just like, okay, some random dude's asking for change. Oh, I need money for like a present or something for my sister or something. He says like that, right? And you're just like,
he needs a bus ticket to see his brother.
Oh yeah, busting to see his brother. It's just something random like that, and you're just like, okay, whatever. But just the fact that he actually ends up getting his own storyline, it's just like, oh, so everything matters. You know what I mean? It's just like pay attention kind of thing. You know what I mean? And then it's like a nice little treat of just like, oh yeah, this guy was in here earlier. Oh snap! Do I really got to be paying attention to every person she interacts with? Like, how many people are gonna get storylines? Like, how deep does this go? So like, I feel like it just builds on you just being locked in because you're like, oh man, like how many perspectives am I gonna get now? Because after I only thought we were only gonna get like 3. I didn't think it was gonna keep going.
I didn't think we were gonna get the cop's perspective. I didn't think we were gonna get James' perspective.
No,
even Marcus, the teacher. I thought like Justine, Archer, and Alex. Like those are our 3 main.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but like the other ones, like they need to be in there. Like
for sure.
It makes because they end up at the house at the end, right? So we need to know why they're there, how they got there, and it also has to make it meaningful that when they're fighting each other, like if they're just like 2 people that are under Gladys's control and they're fighting Archer and Justine, then we're like, yeah, just kill them.
Yeah.
Right? But when they're fighting, then we're like, yeah, he's trying to kill you, but like this is your guy. I mean, they're both, one of them's cheating on his wife and the other one's a drug addict. And so it's kind of like, I don't want to say you don't want to root for them, but like, you know what I mean? Whereas Justine and Archer are like just trying to get justice. Archer lost his son and they're just trying to figure out what happened. But like, we know who these people are. So like this fight actually means something.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like, and I like that aspect too, where it's like they're like, everyone's got flaws, right? Like they're all like, they're all flawed characters in there, some more extreme than others, obviously, but that also grounds it too. I feel like in this world of like going back to like the Prisoners Connections, where it's just like, they very much feel like real people just all struggling, where like it doesn't feel like anyone's, I mean, Archer's a little bit of a detective, which is cool, whatever, I guess. He's not a perfect detective because he doesn't end up figuring out in the end. It's Justine that's just like, no, that's actually Alex's house, and he's like, oh snap. But besides that, like no one is like this perfect character where they're just, it just feels very authentic in that sense.
It was a good idea though to draw like two lines and see where they connect.
No,
100%. I mean, he was being kind of an ass, like when he goes to see the kid's mom and she's like, oh, can I see the footage of your Ring camera? You know, are you comfortable with that? And she's like, no, I'm not. And then he just waits for her husband to come home.
Yeah, no, that was a good reveal. That was a good reveal. That killed me. That absolutely killed me. I thought he just moved on to another guy.
Yeah,
like another parent or whatever. That's
because
absolutely
the
hilarious.
narrator even said at the start, it was like more than half the kids have these like doorbell cameras.
Yeah.
Like you could easily just go to someone else. Why are you like, no, I need to get this kid's visual? I don't know. That was funny though.
And that's why, like you said, that like you're cheering for Justine and Archer, right? Because like they're just grieving and they're trying to fix things. But that's like the flawed thing with Archer is the fact that like you get that he's a grieving father, but he's just so abrasive. And like your first interaction with them, like I immediately just didn't like him, because to me, I never liked those aggressive characters in a movie where it's just like they're just so obnoxious, and it's like he has a reason, he's lost his kid, but it's just like screaming like, what do you know about our kids? I'm like, dog, like, can we just relax for a second? Like, you really think she's a witch? Like, this is supposed to be real life, and you're in 2025, you're claiming that someone's a witch, and you just immediately, I just don't want to like that guy, because it's just like, yo, chill out a little bit, dude. Like,
that's like Josh Brolin's niche. He's the perfect, like, yeah, he's a good dude. He does things for the right reason, but like he's a little abrasive is the right word.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Thanos, leave freaking Silver Surfer alone, yo.
Yeah.
Give her that's like funny. Give her a break, man.
I think it's funny you mentioned like James at the liquor store that like opens the door for her, asks for the change and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the way I saw it, before we get like his whole storyline, I saw it less of like a throwaway line as more of like a timing marker almost. So like, because when you structure the story this way, it could be very easy when you change perspectives, right? You go from Justine to Archer, and then we're starting Archer's story, and we're like, where are we? Like we're restarting the story, right? So we're like, okay, at what point of the story are we at? And we join the characters at different times. So I think something that Cregger does super well in the story structure is putting these markers in. I have a few of them noted down. So James at the liquor store, for example. So we see when Justine goes in when it's her perspective. And then when Archer, he's like following her, right? And he's sitting and watching. And then we see her walk into the liquor store and we see James ask the question. So it's like that nod to be like, okay, we're at this point of the story. They had that meeting at the school. They were all pissed off and everything. And here's where we're at. And then after this is when she goes home. And it's the perfect thing when he got the wrong paint colors, so he's got to have it in the truck. So when he pulls up to her house, they just have that quick shot of the red paint after the witch. So we're like, oh snap, he did the thing. Like there's so many of these little things in here. I got a few more, but do you have anything to say?
Keep going. I'm curious to hear the more.
So the couple walking at Justine's house too, right? When she pulls up to her house and she's like unlocking the car, she looks over and there's a couple walking down the street.
Yeah.
And they don't say anything, they don't do anything, but it's the same thing. So when Archer pulls up, we see them. So we know that it's the same. Again, just like a little thing just to remind us that this is the point of the story that we're at. Justine waving to Paul in the parking lot.
Yeah.
We get that from her perspective, right? The cop comes and she's trying to wash it off and he's like, oh, and, you know, we can file a report, but we can't really do anything else. and then Paul's across the street and she waves to him. And then when it's Paul's story, kind of like halfway through it is when he comes outside and she waves to him. So again, that's like that time thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is part of the story we're at.
That's really interesting.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's interesting. I never really looked at them as like as points of like this is like probably I'm just like imagining him writing it as there's like this is kind of like to keep track of like so I can interconnect these and not lose track of where each character is and kind of like line them up. Like I don't know if it's almost like here's a point, how do I get the person here and I got to get this person here. I wonder if that's how I didn't specifically heard him talk about that, but like the way you're describing it, that almost seems like kind of how the process probably felt.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense when you're telling the story from different perspectives and when they intersect like this, to have something like a noticeable moment like Justine waving, just to like I said, tell the audience where we're at in the story, but also maybe for his own writing to kind of like remind himself like, okay, where are we at? Like at this point when I'm telling Paul's story, where is Justine? And because it all has to make sense, right? Like if you're not keeping track of that, and then Paul ends up at the house and Justine's supposed to be at the liquor store or something, you know what I mean? Like, and like they contradict each other when you're telling the different perspectives. You can't have that. It's all got to make sense, and it all does super, super well.
Oh no, 100%. I think one thing that I really do like, I already mentioned how I like how the characters are flawed and not perfect. I think it's just the fact that like we start off with Justine, right? And like we have the sympathy. I mean, maybe not everyone does, but like you go into it and you're supposed to kind of present to be on her side, right? Where it's just it feels ridiculous that everyone's against her. Like, what did you do with our kids? Like you understand it because like if you think real life, if like in an entire school only kids in that classroom went missing, you'd be like, okay, what happened in that classroom, right? So that, but everyone's so aggressive with it, you're almost like, you don't want to take the mob side, you're gonna take the other person's side. But I just like the idea that we see her as that character, and then when it comes to Paul, it's like now we see her in a completely different way. Now suddenly she's a simp for her ex-boyfriend. It's just like you don't, and now it's just like, wait, do I like her? Like he's kind of toxic. Like, do I like this girl?
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting flip to have on a character where it's just like that's not something that you'd probably want to have in your character that you want us to like and be likable. But it's just like, do I really? That's kind of interesting. It's just interesting. It's like a small thing, but I thought that was interesting to do with like your perceived main character from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and have her fall into alcoholism and push him to fall back into alcoholism, cheat on his wife, like the kind of stuff that, like you said, doesn't make you root for that character really. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're rooting for truth and like finding the kids. Doesn't really matter who finds them or how they get found or if they get saved, but how they get saved, who's responsible for it. We just kind of, that's what we're hoping for, I suppose, as an audience. So like, if at the end of the day the reveal is that like she was involved, would that be like, oh man, no, I was rooting for her? Is it more just like a, oh snap, like I didn't expect it? Like to me, I don't know, the characters, I felt like I wasn't rooting for anyone more than anyone else specifically. It was more just kind of I'm just trying to find out what the hell happened, and whoever is first and whoever could figure that out, I don't even care.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like I think it was just from the beginning of the movie, I felt like that's where we were leading to, and I think I ventured more to what you were saying, where it's like at the beginning I was like, okay, I think the structure is going to be that we're going to be with Justine and we want to figure out what happened with the kids, but it's like we want to find out, and it's also like to clear her name because I don't know why I think it's just the aggressiveness of Archer's character that was just so off-putting to me, because I think I've seen that in other movies too, where it's just like the obnoxious dad or the obnoxious character was just like, well, I don't like the way you did this, and it's just like they're just angry the whole movie, and it's just like for no reason. And I thought he was gonna be that. I'm glad we got his perspective. He was just this angry dad that like when she was at the liquor store, like, what'd you do with my son? And then like see her later, what'd you do with my son? Like I thought that was just gonna be his character, and like immediately I was like, please let's not have this be his whole existence, just be angry in every scene. So that's why I think at the beginning I was like, okay, I'm rooting for Justine because I'm already tired of Josh Brolin's character. Like he had one line and I'm already tired of him.
Yeah, you had a short leash with you, man.
You did, because I've just seen that character, not necessarily just in horror movies, just in any kind of genre where it's just like just a very one-dimensional angry character is, I guess, a specific character that just really bothers me in movies.
I mean, you're right, because it's common. Like we've seen it a bunch.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's not that. We see him get sad, and
Yeah.
we see him have funny moments kind of,
Yeah.
and then when Marcus comes and attacks Justine, then he realizes, he's like, "Oh, I guess she's not in on this." And then they start working together. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, he's got one of the funniest laughs in the movie too when he wakes up from that dream.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh my God. I wrote that down. That was getting my quote. Something a little bit later hit for me, so it's not my quote, but I have that in my notes too. That was
was
amazing.
almost my quote too. That got one of the biggest laughs in the theaters because it's just so unexpected.
Exactly. I was not expecting that at all. We just went through a dream where he's looking at his son, and he's following him, and he's like, "Joshua, where did you go? Where did you go?" He's sad, and then he turns over and it's a clown, so there's a jump scare too, and then he comes up, and so like we're all edgy, and then he just screams, "What the fuck?" I was like, this is perfect.
Because it's what we're all thinking too. It's like it's this perfect thing of like, what the hell did we just see? And he's just like, yeah, what the fuck? It's just
perfect timing, like great delivery.
Oh,
They
yeah.
give a little pause at the beginning, like he wakes up, a little pause, and then just yells at. That was good.
It was absolutely great. I actually want to point. I don't know if you saw the inspiration. Like there's different inspirations with the movie in the sense of like the ending kind of had its own inspiration, like Alex's story, but is the other character. Did you hear like Zach Cregger talk about that? I don't know
No.
if you saw anything about that. I thought it was really interesting too because he looked at this because like he did the movie Barbarian, which is a movie that I really liked, and I always was telling people like, "Yo, have you seen Barbarian?" Because it's kind of like a low key movie. It was a cheap movie. I think it made its money because only like a $4 million budget.
Yeah, I looked
and
it
probably
up. It still made it made like, I want to say like 60-70 million box office, so it made a ton of money.
So yeah, it made a lot of money. Well, yeah, for that low budget, and that was a movie that I really liked. So I was always preaching the choir for that to everybody, like go see Barbarian, go see Barbarian. And my sister really liked it, and I didn't realize that he came from comedy. Like he had a comedy background. He actually was like on this like little mini series that was called "The Whitest Guys You Know." It's like this. It was like this little sketch, almost like not like sketch comedy, like Key and Peele kind of thing, but kind of its own. Like every episode, we're doing like a different kind of like comedy thing. It was him and his buddies, a bunch of white guys, the whitest guys you know. And one of his buddies on the show was named Trevor Moore, and he passed away. And he actually passed away because like from like his accident, like he was drinking and he died tragically. If you want to look it up, I don't want to get too much into it, but he died tragically, and that was something that really stuck with him because that was like his boy, right? And he kind of leaned into alcoholism, and then knowing that there's a lot of alcohol in this movie, and he kind of talked about like when I wrote the script for this movie, wasn't even like I was writing the script at first. I was kind of just like writing all my emotions after losing Trevor, and these characters turned into all like my grieving stages of that. Like I was Justine kind of drinking in the bar, and then I was also Paul who was trying to stop, but then I also relapsed. At times I was James who I was just self-destructive, just doing drugs, and like that was probably his worst point. And then Archer was like the anger, because like grief, like there's like happy, sad, and then like anger, like those were like kind of all his emotions after losing Trevor, which I thought was really interesting because now like I was looking at the movie with a complete different perspective of like, oh, that's crazy, like that's cool, like that there's that extra layer of it that like he was kind of all those characters in his grieving process after losing his close friend.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Taking like you could amalgamate all these people into one person almost, and one sense of grief, but like to attach one trait to each character and then like tell a story about them converging, and like all their decisions make sense based on who they are and their motivations and their, like you said, their traits of grief, I suppose, like how they're processing this stuff. And then you have like James, who's not even really processing it. He's just like, this is the life that he's in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is super interesting that he would. I mean, I did read that he did write the story. He started writing the story before he even came up with like how, like what happened to the kids and everything. So like it makes sense that he's like, okay, I have all these characters because this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So he just started and went from there. That's super cool.
Yeah, no, I thought that was an interesting touch, and he also talked about how. Well, I'll talk about it when we get to like the ending scene, like Alex's scene. Okay. Then I'll talk more about like what he said, what he kind of said that meant to him. But it's another aspect of that, which again I thought was really interesting. Just like it's one of those things you don't know when you're watching the movie, because like that's one of the things I love about watching movies just in general. Like I kind of like going on those deep dives. Not every movie has like a deeper meaning. It could just be like a behind the scenes thing you want to see, or just kind of see like any cool behind the scene kind of stuff. But like when there's also that added bonus of like hearing like the thought process of the characters, and then you go watch it a second time. And because I will say watch this movie again. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters again, but when I watch it again, then you're watching with these other eyes. And you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see what he's talking about here. I see that. So it's another way to enjoy the movie.
And it makes it more authentic too if it's something you're pulling from your own life experiences. You just know about it.
Yeah,
you know, everybody loves more authenticity in movies.
Yeah.
It just makes it better. I did have one other timing marker that I didn't get to.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
And it was just it was Marcus's story. It starts with Justine calling him about Alex's house, right? Because she follows Alex. She goes in the backyard, sees his parents sitting on the couch, and then she calls Marcus. And then she's staking out there. She falls asleep, and that's when her story ends. But so when Marcus's story starts up, it's him on the other end of that phone call. So to me, it's again kind of just that timer. Like, we're at this point of the story. She just was at Alex's house, and now we can go with Marcus's story from here on.
Oh, that's interesting. That's I really like that point you mentioned that, because that was something like kind of, I wouldn't say went over my head, but that wasn't something to think about. I was like, oh yeah, these are probably like these little markers. That's another another thing to look for when I kind of watch it. Be like, oh yeah, they're all those little points.
Yeah, there might be even more that I didn't even realize. And I mean, the fact that you didn't notice it, or like you said, just kind of subconsciously took that in, is the whole point, right? He's telling you this is where we're at in the story without just telling you that, right? So it just makes it even
exactly
better. Okay, so Justine, her point of view. Did you have any specific parts of that you wanted to point out?
I mean, I the thing that I said earlier, where I just said like how it was interesting how the sympathy, and then she was kind of like a simp for her ex-boyfriend. Like, I just thought that was interesting how she didn't know, so technically she didn't cheat because she asked. She's like, "Oh, you still with?"
That's true.
What was his girl husband? No, not Paul, but Paul's girl wife.
Name, I don't know her name.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, Donna. I think it was Donna or something. But yeah, let's say it's Donna. Yeah, Donna. So she asked, she's like, "Oh, are you still with him?" He said no. But just her being a simp for him and just being like, "Oh, I promise I won't text you." It's just funny to see that side of the character, because just didn't expect it. She didn't feel like that character from the get-go. It wasn't like when we saw her grieving, she was like just texting the guy, be like, "Hey, come over." Like, that was just like kind of like a cool reveal that I just thought was interesting about that character.
I think I agree. Like, for her, I think it makes sense. I think on Paul's side, that's something that I didn't think was fleshed out. Maybe not necessarily fleshed out, but super necessary to the plot. Just the fact that he's cheating on his wife. Like, we get the scene of him showing up at the house, and she's like, "Where are you? Like, where were you all night?" And he's terrible on his feet. He couldn't think of a single thing to say.
Oh my goodness! He just looked at her like a. like a deer in headlights.
At your boy's house, or like, come on, man! Like,
you're a cop.
You couldn't come up with anything.
You're a cop, dude. Just say you were working a case or something. My goodness.
Yeah, he couldn't come up with anything. But we get that, and she gets pissed off. There's the back and forth with her dad. You know, like, they're kind of jokey at the start. Her dad's giving Paul shit, and then after he cheats, like, he walks by and her dad like gives him the daggers through the window. And then we get the scene of her chasing Justine into the gas station or the liquor store, pouring alcohol on her or whatever. But like, did that need to be in there?
No, that is a good point. Yeah, it didn't necessarily need to be in there. I guess it's just knowing the emotional baggage of why because Paul like kind of turned into a spaz with James. And I guess if you don't know that the emotional baggage that he's carrying, it would kind of seem like, okay, they're just doing the angry cop thing, like classic.
To me, I think it was justified already in him being angry and popping off like that, because he told the guy, he's like, "Do you have anything in your pockets that's gonna poke me?" No. He says, No. And as soon as he puts his hand in his pocket, he gets poked with a needle. Like, and you don't know if the guy has any diseases or anything. Like, getting poked with a used needle would have you pretty pissed off.
No, that's fair. I now that we're talking it through, because I didn't really think about you do make a good point. Maybe it's just added in there because as he was screaming at the camera when I was watching his Letterboxd interview, it's not a political movie. He didn't want to make it seem like it's an anti-cop movie, maybe. So he's like, "Hey, cops have struggles too, the kind of thing. Like this guy is going through struggles. That's why he's angry. It's not just because all cops are angry. Because there's definitely people that are probably would probably try screaming it online. Don't watch Weapons. It's an anti-cop movie, whatever. All that stuff.
Yeah. That's
so he's probably
point.
like, let me just put that in there so people can be like, I 100%, not 100%, but I feel like that's probably part of his thought process. Where I was like, let me just give this guy a background so people just don't think I'm doing a trope here.
All right, that's fair. Hey, if that's the reason, then I have no beef with it, because you're totally right. People would be up in arms about that. Okay, well, for my side, Justine's story, I just had to shout out the first real jump scare that really got me was after her dream. She looks up and there's a kid on the ceiling. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, yeah.
That freaking got, when that happened, I was like, again, it's not a horror guy. I hate this stuff. That happened to me. I'm like, damn it, why am I here, man? Like, there was points in the movie where like I'm just looking, I'm like squinting, like trying not to look, but look, because I just know, like there's always the times like when you're going through a dark room or there's the POV shot and you're turning the corner of a house. I'm just like, I know something's coming and I'm not ready for it. And that one I wasn't expecting. Like, it's because as soon as she gets up, she just looks up and was not ready for that.
I appreciate, like, as someone that's watched a lot, like jump scares is like a topic of discussion in horror movies where people be like, that's like a cheap jump scare. Like, I don't like jump scares. But to me, it's just like when they're at least like surprising or they're kind of like push the narrative. And like, I feel like with these jump scares, especially like Justine's and Archer's jump scares, where they're being haunted by what they're dealing with. So at least it's kind of, you're adding on to like, man, these people are really going through it. Like they're having a tough time, versus there's the cheap jump scares that we get where it's just like someone like hears something, they open a door and a cat runs out. And that's just like, that's annoying. Like this has nothing to do with the story. You just wanted to scare me at this moment. And people nowadays, that becomes a topic of discussion where it's just like the jump scares, like, was it really scary? They had a lot of stupid jump scares that had nothing to do with really the plot. These ones actually made sense, where like these people were being haunted by what they were going through. So like it actually, I feel like, helped with the narrative of the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree with you. I think they were good. Like, I can appreciate the quality of these horror tropes, and because these jump scares, like you said, they're in there for a reason. Like, it makes sense. And they're done super well. It's just not for me. It's like,
which is
there's
fine.
Literally nothing else to it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, which 100%. 100%. It's just like anything else. It's like a type of music. It's like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Something just not for you. So I'm not trying. I'm never on this podcast trying to like convert you or anything. I just like I will just say why I appreciate it, and you don't necessarily have to be like, you can acknowledge it and be like, it's a good point, but you don't have to necessarily be like, you know what? Yeah, I like it now. I'm not expecting you to do that.
Like you say, the cat runs through, or like someone hears a noise and they're creeped out and they turn the corner and it's just their friend. Like, oh, hey man, I was just making a sandwich or something. You know what I mean? It's like,
those are the cheap. Yeah, exactly. Those are the cheap. And Scream is actually one of the things I love about Scream. Now I could talk for hours on Scream, but there's a specific, they play on the tropes and they make fun of the tropes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, those moments where you're talking about where like, it's like you're turning the corner and then you think something's there and then it's not. Like, I'm not going to say which movie it is for anyone that hasn't seen it, but like there's one of the movies where it's just like, there's a scene where the guy's like going and like it's build up to build up and it's just nothing. Build up to build up and it's nothing. Build up to build up and it's nothing. And then just nothing happens. And you kind of just laugh because just like, yeah, you thought we were going to jump scare you, weren't you? It's almost like someone could have just turned to you and like winked. It's just like, that's one of the things I like about Scream is like they'll do the trope and then won't do the payoff and then kind of just like let it sit there and be like, oh yeah, you got me. I thought someone was gonna pop out of that closet or something. Nothing actually happened. It's like, no, we don't do that stupid shit.
And then when the end of Justine's story, when she's sitting in the car, she falls asleep. And then the lady comes out, the door opens, the lady comes out of Alex's house with the scissors in her hand. My chest was pounding. And then she walks up to her, stops, then walks past the camera. We hear the door open. And I'm just like, oh shit, what is going to happen? And then she cuts a lock of her hair and the story ends. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's the ultimate perfect cliffhanger. It's the ultimate cliffhanger. Like, I remember I heard Hitchcock say this one thing that's stuck with me forever, of just like the perfect element of suspense, which it kind of defines suspense, like within cinema, is like when it's like the audience knows something and the main character doesn't. And it's that classic case of like, oh, she's sleeping. She doesn't know what's going on. We know that she might get stabbed. So you're just kind of like, it's like, I think the example uses like a ticking bomb, where it's like if you saw someone put like a bomb in someone's car, you know what's going off in 3 minutes, and they're just going into their car like, do, 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 do. And you're like, yo, that car's going to explode. And they're just like chilling. And they're looking at their watch. And you're just like, the bomb, how much time is it going to have been? It's like, that's the perfect, that was the perfect way of building that suspense of like, no, I'm not going to just show you stab her. You're going to hear the back door open and you're just like, oh my God, when is that happening? What are they going to do? Like all the things start coming into your head. And it's just like, it was so well done.
I remember I heard Tarantino talk about that same Hitchcock thing about Inglourious Bastards, the opening scene. I won't say it for anyone if you haven't seen that movie, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The reveal that comes through, so we know what's happening.
Yeah.
But some of the characters don't, and it's just like,
it's great. Yeah. It's an awesome feeling because you're at the edge of your seat and you're just like, it's like, no, that's the best thing about like thrillers / horrors, like you getting those moments.
All right, next we have Archer's side of the story.
Yeah,
I thought him tracking, like I said, the intersecting lines was cool. You're right. It's kind of like, okay, I guess he's a detective. But I mean, if your son's missing, you're gonna do everything you can think of to try and figure. No,
I agree, and I didn't want to hate on it. Like I laugh at it.
You're already hating on Archer.
Well,
that's okay.
Well, no, I'm already hating on. But specifically that, like, I laugh at it tongue in cheek because I'm just like, everyone lost their kids. He's the only one doing this. But like, I didn't. That's not actually a knock. But I'm like, he's the only one that's like thinking about like, where did those kids run? What was their direction? It is that like very Sherlock Holmes to me, where like he discovered something that like no one else was thinking about. Where I was just like, okay, we don't have to make him this smart, because then it also makes it feel like everyone in the town's stupid. No one thought to think of, let's look at the cameras and like let's think about where the kids are running towards and kind of like, because how long has it been? I know, and that's why I was like, he's this master detective all of a sudden.
Or I guess the pushback I'll give ourselves is they probably did do that, and then they figured out that, okay, they're running toward Alex's house, but they had already checked Alex's house, right? They went the next day.
That is true.
They moved the kids and everything. So,
yeah,
because this was my biggest question to Gladys was like, to me, like this story had all but one plot hole to me.
Okay.
Which is like very impressive for a thriller that you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, intersecting storylines and stuff like that. It's easy to mess stuff up. But
and just mysteries in general. It's hard to make a mystery movie and not have a plot hole, because you want to just tighten up everything so someone could be like, why didn't they check that? Or why didn't they look here, kind of thing. So, but
my possible plot hole, I guess, maybe you have an answer, is why would she send him to school? She kidnaps all the kids. She has them in the basement. She sends him to school. He's immediately the number one suspect. Immediately, they're like, why is he still here? All the other ones are gone. We need to look into his house and his family and everything. If she keeps him home, then we're just like, okay, all the kids are disappeared. What the hell happened?
Yeah, that's true.
They might check all of their houses at some point, but immediately this puts them right to the top of the list.
That's a good point, honestly. Like, I'm trying to like think about why it would make sense to at least to have him go to school, but it doesn't really. The only reason why it makes sense is just based off what I was talking about on why Zach Cregger said he did the Alex storyline, but that works within itself for what was trying to show within his own personal experience. But as far as the actual plot, it doesn't make sense for that. So that actually is a good point. I might as well get into the Alex point that I'm talking about.
Yeah, go for it.
He was saying that when he was younger, both his parents were alcoholics, and he talked about how Alex's experience of kind of being in a house of like parents that are kind of like zombies and like feeding them and doing stuff for him was his childhood experience, which is sad, of having two alcoholic parents where you feel like they were just like not even present. You're kind of just like taking care of yourself. So that was his experience. He said that's what that last section of Alex was like. That was me as a kid with my parents. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense for that. I know it's upsetting, but that But as far as the plot of the movie, it doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, it works for his story, but not for the weapons plot.
And I mean, for the story, like I get for the story, you have to have him as the number one suspect, because this is why Justine is following Alex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because like I said, he's the number one suspect. She's looking into him. So this is how she ends up at the house, talks to Marcus, which then leads to Gladys having to kill her. So going to Marcus and then getting Marcus to kill his partner, getting Marcus to kill her, which then leads to Josh Brolin or Archer realizing that Justine's not the problem. They can work together. They can figure it out. And then they end up at the house. So like it makes sense for the story that like she had to be looking into Alex.
Yeah. But
as far as Gladys is concerned, that is just a bad move.
Yeah. No, it is a good point. Yeah. I can't back Gladys. I don't know. I don't got any alibis for her or any reasonings for why she would let Alex go. Like, yeah, I'm really trying to grasp at something, but I don't know why she would. I don't know why she would let him go.
She shouldn't have.
Yeah, she shouldn't have. Yeah, honestly.
But other than that, to me, like everything was super, super well thought out. This was my Tarantino point that I was talking about before. Like,
okay,
in the sense of these interconnecting storylines, like Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown that we just talked about. There's no holes where like this character has to be here because of what happened earlier, and this character would do this because like everything is justified in the story based on stuff that happens earlier or stuff that happens later. Then there's something into the story that's baked in that makes sense of why a character is doing something or whatever. And like I said, he has to return the paint.
Yeah.
So that's like the reason of like, okay, this is where the paint comes. And even that could have been left ambiguous. Like who painted the witch on her car. We don't even really need to know, but that's a nice little touch that like,
no, for sure.
This is why he has the paint and this is why he's here. Like I said, Gladys has to kill Marcus and Justine because they're getting too close.
Yeah.
So, which leads to the fight at the gas station. So Archer knows it's not her. So they can start working together. Paul telling James to stay away from the station as well, right? When he punches him in the head.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh shit, they got this on the dash cam. I'm going to get in trouble. So you have to stay away. I don't want him to make a complaint. But then when James sees the $50,000 reward and he knows where the kids are at, he wants to go and get this reward. So he goes to the station and Paul has to chase him away. So this is how they end up at the house. And he's like, no, I know where the kids are. So he goes check it on his own. He didn't report it to the story. And it's just, everything just makes sense, which is like, it sounds so simple to be like, yeah, everything makes sense. But like, it's so much harder to do. So I think it's worth giving him praise for that.
No, 100%. Because like there's just so many movies in general. Not everything's gonna hit the mark. It's just so satisfying when it does. And yeah, like you said, we're still trying to figure out the Gladys thing, and maybe we'll figure out a couple days from now where it's like, oh, okay, that's why she did it. That's why she let Alex go. Or maybe there's someone screaming in their headphones right now, like, you guys missed the scene when or like they're leave us in the comments if you in the comments if you feel like we missed the reason why Gladys let Alex go. But no, I 100% agree with you. You got to give props to it because when it all just comes together and makes sense, you just clap. You don't. I'm not an end of movie theater clapper. I'm not doing those. Some people, did people clap after the movie ended? I got a couple of those.
I'm trying to remember.
It just gives me douche chills every single time. I'm just like, I have a movie podcast and I think this is pretentious. Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not clapping. That's always my thing. TIFF is the only festivals are the only time because they're literally there. They're literally at the front sometimes where it's just like, yeah, I'll clap. But if they're not there, like, who are we clapping for? The Cineplex worker? Thanks for projecting that, dude. You did a great job.
So what did you think when Marcus pulled up to the gas station? Like, he had the blood in his eyes and he was running in the line and starts to attack. Like, did you have any thoughts, or were like,
at first I didn't,
just like, oh man, I don't know where this is going.
At first, I didn't even think it was him. Like, I wasn't 100% sure. Like, he looked so weird. You know what I mean? Like, before that, I always saw him as really like in a suit. We didn't really see him in street clothes and stuff like that. I just see some dude running in a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, which is really random. That was part of my. I was kind of wondering why they were sitting. What were they watching that they both felt like they had to wear matching Mickey Mouse t-shirts? That's beside the story.
Yeah,
but
I don't have an answer about the Mickey Mouse shirt.
Is this a Disney? Did Disney produce this movie? Is that like a little?
No, this is New Line.
Okay. So how did they? That's like, okay, whatever. Maybe it's gonna be on Disney Plus at some point. I don't know. Barbarian was on Disney Plus, so maybe maybe that's like we're getting a little taste of something happening in the future. But anyway, as far as Marcus, I didn't know what to expect to think of it, to be honest. Part of me was like, I didn't have too many notes on him. Like I put that like Marcus was like a nice guy, and he was not about the witch. You know what I mean? Like that was the only person that he was like kind of felt like he had no, I didn't say empathy for, but like she wanted to come in the house and he was like, eh. But his husband was like, nah, let her in. That we didn't really get much from him. Like to me, I don't really have much to say on him. The moment like when he was chasing her, I'm like, okay, the movie's we're raising the bar a little bit. And then him killing his husband was probably the most brutal part of the movie. It's absolutely insane.
Just like 16 headbutts to the face.
Oh my god.
And he throws up all this black vomit on
goo
him.
or whatever. Yeah,
God
that was
damn.
oh yeah, that's definitely, I mean, the ending's actually the most brutal part of the movie. But
Yeah,
that
Jesus
that
Christ.
until that point, that was the most like, oh my god. And the worst is like when it goes away from it and all you just hear is they keep hearing the thuds as she's cleaning up.
She's just like, wiping her hand.
Yeah, I'm just like,
oh my god.
But that's all
that was crazy.
I don't know what you have on Marcus.
I don't have much to say about Marcus himself. Same thing. But to me, when he pulls up to the gas station, because this is the first time we've seen anyone else other than the kids get like possessed, right?
Yeah.
Like we saw Justine sees Alex's parents sitting on the couch in the house, and they're just kind of sitting there, and it's only for a quick second as she glances through a crack in the window. So yeah, they might have been possessed. They might have been. We don't know really exactly what's going on, but like, as far as we know, that what happened to the kids, what is like a one-time thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like the fact that he pulls up, I'm like, oh, like this, someone's still doing this. Like someone's still running stuff and possessing people, or I just didn't know. And like you said, it ups the bar of like, whoa, okay, so there now there's this fiend that's like on a death spree trying to kill her at like no, and he couldn't be deterred, right? Like he runs into Archer's fighting him, and he just doesn't even care about Archer. He just keeps going after Justine. So we're like, okay, he's clearly just after her. They have this whole fight in the gas station. She's run away, and he's just sprinting down the street, gets smoked by that car.
Oh my god! Oh, there's one point that absolutely killed me, because I was thinking it too when he was chasing Justine in the store, and he's like, "Hey, get out of my store!" She's like, "Freaking help me!"
Yeah, I know. I was bro, that was almost gonna be my lazy word. Give it to that guy. You see people fighting in the store, you're just gonna chill there.
I feel like it's the classic thing of like, those kind of guys always have like a gun behind the counter. I was waiting for that moment to be like, yo, get out of my store. Cause like people are constantly robbing like those like gas stations, stuff like that in movies and TV shows. And they're always like just ready. They have the button, or they have the like the shotgun or the thing on there. This guy had nothing.
Nothing, bro. He didn't come out to help her. Archer had to come in and bash him against the window and try and break up the fight to let her get away. And the guy's just chilling behind the counter the whole time.
Oh my God. It's absolutely. Yeah, Justine, that's help me. Like, what do you mean? Get out of your store.
Yeah, exactly.
You see this guy's attacking me. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like two knuckleheads. You're literally seeing this large man attack a woman, just like as like
facts.
You're just not going to try to help this situation out. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I didn't even take that in, but you're right. Like a big dude fighting a woman, like you gotta help.
Yeah, even if you don't have a weapon, just step in. Like, that's crazy. He's got blood on his face too.
Guy's a piece of shit.
Oh my gosh, man! I might
He's just worried about his story.
I might need to change an award or two.
That was funny though when she just
oh my god, that killed me.
Okay, so that we have Paula. Oh, sorry, I was talking about. Oh no, sorry.
No, you're talking about Marcus.
No. I know. Well, you said you didn't have anything else on Marcus?
Oh,
right?
okay. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if there's someone else you wanted to like.
Well,
James
Paul and James.
or...
Paul and James I kind of put together because I didn't have much on them either.
Yeah.
And their stories are kind of like it's them too.
Yeah.
So the fact, just even like when James goes into the house, he finds the kids. Again, that's a good like teaser reveal of like, okay, here's where the kids are, but we still don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
We still don't know why they're there, how they got there, who's doing this. We still don't know any of that stuff. We're like, okay, that's where they are. So the fact that he gives us pieces throughout the story, and it's not just one giant reveal. You know, the classic, like your villain has your main character like tied to a chair and just like dumps the whole plan, be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. That's not what this is. He gives you like little pieces here and there as people find out stuff. And then when Paul pulls up to the house with James in the back seat, and then he goes into the house, I'm like, okay, no, Paul, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
And then he drags him in and then cut. That's the end of the story. Like the end of every story was a perfect cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Just like, holy shit, what's about to happen?
It's almost like episode of TV shows. It's like, wait,
facts.
100%. I didn't even think about that too. Like, obviously the Justine hook was like the one, I mean, that's the first hook, I guess. So it was like the one that like really gets you. But yeah, like when you like think back to the way each one ended, it's very much like all right, well, you got to see what happens with them later. It's like very much like, oh wait, what's gonna happen to that person? And then suddenly James, and then suddenly Alex. It's like, oh my goodness, like when are we gonna see those people again? And then like as you see them interweaving, and you're like, oh okay, now we're kind of go back in time. We'll see what's gonna happen to them later. And yeah, no, it's so well done.
Yeah, because let's go through this right. So Justine ends with the cutting of the hair.
Yeah,
great cliffhanger. Archer's ends with Marcus attacking.
Yeah.
So he see him running, and then he tackles Justine. They have a bit of a fight, and then we don't see the whole fight. So it ends there. So we're like I said, we're like, oh wait, so this guy can still get possessed, and now he's trying to kill Justine. What the hell's happening? Great. Paul.
I'm trying to think where Paul's ends. Paul's
end.
I don't actually remember how Paul's ends. The only thing I remember, Marcus ends with getting hit by a car, so there's not much of a cliffhanger there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's not a cliffhanger. And then James ends with him getting dragged into the house.
Yeah, I don't remember how Paul's ended.
I guess it wasn't that good.
Yeah, I guess so. I for the life of me, I can't remember.
Because
was it him chasing?
Chasing who?
Like chasing.
James. Yeah, when he comes to the station, and he's like, "Hey, I told you to get out of here," and then he runs after him.
I think that is how it ends.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that one is okay. I mean, it goes to your point of James's kind of like story. There's elements of it kind of just like, all right, not James. Paul is Paul. It's like he wasn't the most interesting. I wouldn't like. I'm not going to show his character entirely, but if you're ranking intriguing characters, he's not up there for me.
That's fair.
So probably the lowest. But Marcus is the lowest, and then he's probably above that. I thought James is pretty interesting because to me it's not even just he's got a lot of funny moments, that's for sure. I think it's just that underbelly character of like a world that I feel like you don't see too much in movies. It's like I don't know if he's a crackhead like or just like a druggie, whatever it is, but like just really being with that character. Like this guy lives in the forest, like lives in a tent, and you just kind of just see him just like trying to make ends meet as just being like as a druggie. They don't go that deep with it. Usually like a classic druggie you see is just like a weed guy. And it's just like he's a stoner, lazy dude, whatever. Dude, yeah. Like that's the extent. You don't get a dude that's like, I think he was, I don't know 100% all the drugs he was doing, but he had needles and stuff like that. Like
needles, he had a crack pipe.
That's what I'm saying. We're going pretty deep. We don't usually get those kind of characters. They don't usually go past weed nowadays.
I think something that elevates James too is that he had a lot to do story wise. Like I said, it's through his perspective that we find out that the kids are in the basement.
Yeah.
He like in that scene where he breaks into the house, we see Alex's parents sitting on the couch and they're not moving. They're unresponsive. So there's just a lot of intrigue in his story as well. Whereas like Paul's story is just like him cheating on his wife and her getting pissed off.
No, it's true.
And like, who cares?
And James had probably had one of the most, the dreams that Justine and Archer had were pretty eerie, but James just being in the house in general was just eerie because the whole time you're holding your breath. Because I'm like, I see those parents are sitting there not moving, but I just know at one point they are. I'm just waiting for when. And you just see him going all throughout the house. And I'm like, are they just going to pull up on him now? Are they going to pull up on him now? And then when you finally see them move, you're just like, oh, God, dude. Here it goes.
And then he unlocks the door and starts to get out, and there's a chain on the door.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, no,
I thought he was done.
I thought they were going to grab him, but he was able to get out. I wonder if, like, did Gladys know he was there and let him get out, or what do you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. That was a good shot, too. Like, him, like, the way the camera moved of, like, when he was struggling with the door, it's like the camera moved with the door, like, getting stuck. Like, that was, like, a point that I wrote down. Like, that was, like, a really cool, like, shot that was just, again, to go with the creative camera movement. Just, like, the following. Like, it happened with a lot of the characters, but I think especially with Paul and James, because there was a lot of running, like especially with like their chase and like they're trying to elude each other. Like there's a lot of just like turning the corner, and you feel like the camera was like turning as a person. It's almost like a GoPro, especially when Paul was chasing him in the car. The way when he turned, like you felt like it was like the camera moved like a pan. It was just, I don't know what it was. I didn't see like any like camera behind the scenes on how they did that, but it just looked really like very like hyper active camera.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
camera
even a
movements.
moment when it's a quick shot of Paul, like when he's going to chase James and he's getting into the car. It's like the camera's mounted to the door and it like swings closed
Yeah,
as the doors close, and it, like that was cut super quick. It adds to like the franticness, I guess, of the
yeah.
moment. But yeah, there was a lot of good shots in this movie actually. There
Yeah,
were a lot of
no,
good ones.
yeah. Go back to the James thing, and yeah, how? What about you though? Do you agree with me in the sense of like this isn't like a we're shitting on Paul here,
Like
but
Paul, like as far as like ranking the interest,
yeah,
I think Alex is super interesting because he's the one kid. There's got to be
yeah,
something there. Justine is super interesting. Obviously, she's our main character.
and Archer,
Archer is interesting too. Like I said, I thought it was cool how he was like pursuing the angles and like, okay, they cross over here. Honestly, I thought he would go to more than two houses.
yeah,
Because like if you got like 7 and intersected all those lines, maybe you could actually pinpoint out on Alex's house. But he's like, okay, I got 2, and let me draw the circle. It's somewhere in here.
yeah,
Like maybe go a little bit further. But
yeah.
Archer
You could
was
say it was
okay.
lazy. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it
change
could have
my
been.
some. No, I was
There's
kidding.
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of laziness to go around.
There is a lot of laziness
Interested
to go
to
around.
see your Ferris Bueller award, but
Yeah,
what? And then yeah, the principal
yeah. Marcus, it's like
Marcus. He was. I mean, again, like from his perspective, to me, it's more like what was interesting about their part of the story,
yeah,
less so the character themselves. So, like in Marcus, we get the reveal of Gladys and possessing people with this stick that she wraps something around and breaks, and that was interesting.
yeah. To me, at no point should like am I saying that any of these should be cut. To me, it's just
Yeah,
more so just like ranking, just like for a
that's
fun thing.
yeah,
But also, like I think it's good to get these perspectives. Like you get the teacher perspective, you get a parent perspective, you get a cop perspective, you get a teacher
mm-hmm.
like the principal perspective because we see him, and then James is just like you wouldn't necessarily think you'd need a perspective of a James and when something like this happens in a movie, but it makes sense because everything that
Yeah,
he gives you. And then
mm-hmm.
also Alex. So like all the perspective works. I was really wondering, I was like, why are we getting James' perspective? I was like, he has no connection to this. He does have a connection
He
as you
does.
see his story, but all
Yeah,
just on paper, when you'd see all the things, like if someone tells you what the movie's about and then you'd see all the perspectives and kind of what the characters are, you'd be like, wait, why are we getting this
who's
James
this
guy's
guy?
yeah, why are we
Yeah,
getting this
who's this
James
guy?
guy's what does he have to do with it?
True.
But it deserves it as you watch the movie.
100%. So like you said, we finally finished with Alex. So this is the longest one.
Yeah.
This is like almost half the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this one it really slowed down because like I said,
Yeah.
this is post reveal. So it's more kind of like the explaining, okay, he was taking care of his parents, feeding the kids, doing all this stuff. He got all the name tags from their little bins.
Yeah.
So this is how she could lure them all in. All that stuff was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Gladys was super creepy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amy Madigan,
Oh yeah.
who plays Gladys. She's 75. I thought she had a lot to do in this movie.
Yeah.
For a 75-year-old actress. She was mobile too. Like the end, she's literally running.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Which was hilarious.
Oh my god.
But like she looked so like weird and creepy. Like the wrinkles all look fake. I thought it was like a young person that they put all this fake makeup on.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, a 75-year-old woman. She killed it.
No, she did kill it. They did Zach did his part, just making her look really creepy. Just like the outfits were just so loud, and then the wigs were just horrible.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it added to that, just like creepy, like unsettling. Just like look, even when she had the wig off, and then she just had like the little strands, and she was like bald and everything. It was just I guess she did a good job of being creepy.
Absolutely.
She absolutely obliterated it with that.
Super creepy. Her like the other jump scare that I noted was her in the basement when he sees the kids and he's looking one to one like where's, and then oh my god, I almost shit myself, dude. That one, it's crazy because that was even one that like I knew was coming. Like the whole room's dark.
Yeah,
it's only lit by the flashlight of his phone. Like this is the perfect spot for a jump scare. He's going one to one to the kids. I thought one of the kids was gonna like animate and jump at him or something.
Yeah.
She's just like cowering in the corner and jumps at him. Like, oh my god, that got me.
Yeah, no, that was good. And I liked the tonal shifts with her too were interesting too, because when we first see her, she's like this quirky like old lady, whatever it is. But then when there's that serious tone that she has when she's talking with like Marcus and her husband, where she just switches, and especially when she's with Alex, because it seems like, oh, Alex, just listen to me, and then she's like, I can control your parents, like all that stuff. It's just like, crazy. Oh yeah, like it was just like, oh man, like this is we're going there. This isn't like, she's not gonna try to be like because I'm talking to a kid, just try to be like, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay, just listen to me. She's like, no, like I'm gonna get real with this kid. And when she flipped that switch too, I was like, oh, all right.
See, because it's an act, right? When she's with the principal, because she doesn't want to get caught, so she puts on this act of like, you know, I'm this frail old lady, and then Alex, there's no reason to do that.
Yeah,
he knows exactly what the hell's going on.
No, 100%. No, it was a well done. Part of me was wondering too, like how, which they didn't need to explain it, but part of me was just wondering of just like what exactly is she? You kind of just assume it's like a life force thing she's taking from these kids, but it's not really explained like why, like what exactly is happening. Like, are these kids eventually just gonna, like, are these people that she's taking the life force, are they gonna die eventually, kind of thing? And again, I'm not saying they need to explain that. It's just something I'm kind of wondering just out loud. Like, I wonder what she was specifically getting from them.
I mean, maybe because right at the end, right, they're like the kids aren't moving even after they kill her. They're all just standing there.
Yeah.
And Archer grabs his son and starts walking, and he's just kind of like not really moving. And the narrator even says, you know, even a couple of years later, some of them started to talk again. So like, maybe like the first thing to go is your cognitive function, or like you don't move, you don't talk. Like she just steals that from you and then slowly like eats away at your life force. But I don't know. Like, and is it like a stockpile of kids and she can like kill one and then move to the next one and take all their life, or is it like a collective where I could siphon a little bit of them all at the same time? I don't know. But like you said, we don't really
we don't. I'm just thinking out loud, just like a speculation thing. Like you just sit there and wonder, like, I wonder, like you try to create your own story, your own narrative, and kind of just wonder, like, I wonder. It is kind of wild that like that was I like that ending too, like that like haunting element of just like a couple of them even talked. I was like, ooh, that's a nice little tone to end on too.
Weapons
where it's
too?
just like, where it's just like the kids, like they're still messed up, which is, it's also interesting too, because the beginning of the narrator talks about how like it's a story that like no one ever like really figured out, and it's just like, I mean, Justine and Archer, I guess they never really encountered the witch to like make a realization of what is going on. They kind of just realized this is where the kids were, there's weird stuff going on, but like they never really could try to come up with a conclusion. And
that's true, actually. Well, I mean, Alex is still there, so I guess Alex would have told people. Like Alex would have.
Oh yeah, I guess he would have. But what is he really gonna say? As a witch?
Yeah,
I mean, just like, what's the point of even trying to explain that?
Yeah, you know, you wrap your arm. Maybe he showed it. Could like he still has one of those sticks. And just like, here, let me show you. And then see, because that was one thing that I don't want to say confused me, but like now thinking about it, because like you say, we don't know exactly for sure all the rules of this magic, but so the kids don't speak and they don't move. The narrator says that Alex's parents also are being fed by someone at some place, so like they're not moving or anything. But Archer gets possessed, and he starts to kill Justine.
Yeah.
And then when Gladys dies, he's just fine.
Maybe because it wasn't long enough. It was a quick transition. Everyone else that was kind of like messed up, they were in it for a while.
Or maybe it's some kind of other magic that she used, because she didn't, like, she had to jump at him, right? She took his like necklace or something and maybe did some like half-assed ritual, like not the full thing. She wouldn't have had time to just like wrap his, poke her finger, wrap his hair around, break the stick, or I don't know.
Again, we're just brainstorming right now. We're spitballing, but just something I was thinking about.
Her running from the kids was freaking hilarious.
Oh my goodness, there's so many great lines in there. Like, look what they did to the lawn. The random guys they ran through that.
And then Archer's like following the thing, and then the lady turns around like, oh, there's a man in the kitchen. Your whole house is destroyed, and they're just like, oh, there's another man here. Yeah, that was great.
Well, the best, I think the second biggest laugh after Archer freaking out was the dude mowing his lawn, and then you just see the ready, all the kids just immediately right, and he's just kind of just like, what the hell is going on? And he just keeps doing his line.
It's so funny to like have this comedic conclusion to this like creepy and murdery story, but like that's such a great decision just to like take all this creepy buildup and the premise of what's happening here is you have a classroom full of kids trying to murder this old woman, which is dark as hell, and to make that comedic is just such a good choice. I think it's just it totally flips everything. It's fresh, it's unique, it's such a good idea. It's so great. He killed this man.
No, he really did. And just like I mentioned earlier, with just like having a little extra line of like the kid and some of the kids actually talk, it still gives you like that haunting nature where she's like, oh yeah, like this was like we're just laughing, but like this was a traumatizing thing, and like everyone's messed up now. Like this town is messed up. Like no one will ever be the same. This is generational trauma we just watched.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
All right, well, do you have any other points or facts or anything you didn't get to?
No, I think that's it. I don't know if you have anything that
I got one fact that he said that Zach Cregger said that the script was sent to studios at 8 a.m. like when he when it went on auction. And by 9:30 the CEO of Warner Bros contacted him to try and close the deal.
Damn.
And Jordan Peele let two of his production company's longtime managers go after losing the bid on this.
Damn.
So like this script, just everybody was in love with this script. I mean, you could see why. Like I said, just one hook from the trailer and I was already buying my ticket. So they could tell that, and just there was a lot of people looking for the script. He got final cut on it. Like he was able to negotiate some terms because the script was just that good.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan Peele recognized he comes from comedy too. He's just like, hey, another one of us kind of thing. Oh, he's just like, oh, this guy, he gets it too. And it's like a great comedy tone, great horror. And that's why I did hear about him firing someone because of a script, but I didn't realize it was because of this script. That's actually hilarious.
Yep.
Weapons, man. Now he's putting all his chips into him. We'll see how him goes.
Oh, yeah. See.
I know you're mixed
trailer
on that.
For that, and like the trailer doesn't look good. It looks very messy. Like I just don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, it does. But it's got me intrigued just because I'm going into because he produced it. If it wasn't him on I feel like he wouldn't throw his name on it.
Yeah, but
why would he attach himself to it? Yeah, but why would he attach himself to it? He read the script.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it's well executed. You could have a great script and have it.
No, but the producer's got a lot of say. The producer is gonna and he could have backed out. If it's really that bad, he'd be like, you know what? This isn't for me. You can get another producer. Like he can do that. It's Jordan Peele. He doesn't owe anybody anything at this point. He'd be like, yeah, sorry, man. This isn't. He's putting his name on it. That's my that's why I'm optimistic about it, because he put his name on it. And everyone keeps thinking it's a Jordan Peele movie. Everyone's like, oh, you see that new Jordan Peele movie?
I'm like, is like from the producer of Jordan Peele. That's the first name that they pop up on every poster, every trailer.
And that's why I'm saying like it's gotta be something. I'm optimistic. But yeah, I don't have for weapons though. I got nothing else. I got all my facts out as we were talking about it. So
then let's get to the filmies.
Let's get into it. Yes, it's that time. It's time for the Filmies. And if you're new to the show, this is a part of the show where me and Scott give out 6 awards to the movie we just watched. And if we both have the same award, it's deemed as certified. Well, if we both pick the same thing for the award, it's deemed as certified. I can never get that sentence right. I'm always trying to spitball it and be like, how can I say it this week? And then every single time I'm like, I'm
sure they figure it out. We have the same award and then hit the certified. They get it.
Exactly. But for this, what's it called? The first award that we have is our Ferris Bueller Award. So the Ferris Bueller Award is our lazy award. We're kind of teasing it as we were talking about the movie. So it goes out to someone that we felt deemed it something lazy. It could be director, writer, could be someone that's not even in the movie. We get very creative with this award, but I'm curious to hear who you gave your Ferris Bueller award to, Scott.
It's very simple. I gave it to Justine for not locking her car door. You're doing a stakeout at Alex's house. It's some creepy, weird stuff going on, right? You peeked into the window. You saw two people sitting on a couch. There's just something off here, and you're gonna sit there and fall asleep all night and leave the doors open. Like, come on. Very simple, very lazy. Goes to Justine.
That's a very good point, honestly, because like I didn't even. It's like the most in your face lazy award, but I didn't even think about it. Because to me, I was like, for some reason, I thought she broke in. But no, she just opened the door. There was no struggle. There wasn't like a little tsh, and then like I'm like, damn, she's really that asleep. She didn't hear the door smash, but like literally just opened the door like a kid coming home from soccer practice. Like just nothing. No, that's a good. That's a very good, simple, very right in your face. But I didn't even think about it.
Okay,
it's a great Ferris. What's yours then? Mine also goes to Justine, but for a different reason. This is a stupid reason because I couldn't really find a good one. But for me, it's for her not taking the time to understand the genius of the joke that Max said earlier in the movie. I don't remember if you remembered Max's joke, but he threw a pencil at Alex and she told him to go to the office. And he said, it was a joke. And my Ferris Bueller goes to Justine because she didn't take the time to understand that masterpiece of a joke. That was a genius joke. The timing was on point. The tension was built. He threw the pencil, got a pop, and she just didn't take the time to appreciate it. She just said, go to the office. That's lazy. That's lazy.
Or she's just being a teacher and she can't just laugh at a kid bullying another kid.
Nah, that's lazy to me. That's lazy.
You're right. I mean, throw a pencil at his face. It's a joke. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean it's a joke?
Yeah, I know. That was my thing. I'm like, how is that a joke? What are you talking about? But okay, I mean, the bar is set low.
Yeah,
you got. Yeah, go.
Well, I was just gonna say, it reminds me just the whole Justine in the classroom thing reminded me of another influence, or I guess a theme that Cregger worked into this. Actually, I didn't even read him or see him mention this, but I read about people talking about it, and it makes sense to me, is that the theme of like a parasite. So when one of the times when we cut into the classroom, she asked, she's like, okay, can anyone name another parasite? And someone says a tapeworm. And she's like, a tapeworm, very good, right? It's just in there. And also the principal and his husband, when they're watching TV and it's the ant, right? And then the parasite that like takes over his body and whatever. And then obviously Gladys, like we said, who's like sucking the life force out of these people. She's a parasite. So yeah, just the theme of parasites is just kind of present within the movie.
That's a good tell. And that's something you always got to look for when you're watching a movie that has a classroom setting in it, because whatever the teacher is teaching is 100% something that's tied to the movie. True. I didn't even catch that, but like if you're gonna make a movie, they're like, hey, today we're learning about blank. Sometimes they might just be a throwaway, but I feel like for the most part, it's a little tongue in cheek, like what the teacher is teaching them about. I feel, unless it's like literally like a drama about like a classroom, then they might actually be just teaching some shit. But it's not really about the classroom. So like the fact that she's even teaching a lesson, I didn't catch that though. That's a good catch. That's interesting.
And like I said, the Nat Geo
that too,
or whatever about the ant.
Yeah,
maybe there's another thing that
possibly
even more than that. I don't know.
No, there could be. That's a beauty with some of these kind of movies. There's definitely these little layered things in here, and maybe we'll see more afterwards. But no, that's interesting.
Yeah,
but we both gave Justine both got our Ferris, but different reasons.
not feeling jokes, not locking the car. Like I said, it could have gone to the gas station worker, just not helping her. There's a lot of laziness to go around.
That's wild. Our next award we have, very self-explanatory, fit check. So I'm curious to hear what your best fit was in this movie, especially because I feel like it's not really like a fit kind of movie, but there could always be some sleepers.
Well, I actually went with the worst fit.
Okay.
And we kind of talked about it. it goes to Gladys. I mean, all her fits
Okay.
are just like she just doesn't. She looks creepy and weird and just doesn't look good. So I just gave it to her first one because it's when we see her for the first time, and I'm immediately just like thrown off. I'm just like, okay, what's wrong with this woman? Like she just looks so creepy and weird. So like she got the orange wig, with the straight bangs. She got
Oh God.
those big blue glasses. Her lipstick is all over her face. Like it's so poorly done. She got this like super loud purple and red like tracksuit. I was like, the big purse where she got all of her voodoo shit in there. I was like, she looks terrible.
Oh, she really does. And it's funny too, when you said thrown off, I thought you were gonna say I almost threw up.
Damn.
When you said thrown off, I was like, damn, it wasn't that atrocious.
No,
but yeah, no, she was looking whack, and that's why I had the exact same fit or worst fit. That's a rare. No, I don't think we've ever got a both worst
certified
fit.
worst. No, I think you're right. That's a new one.
It literally leaped off across the screen to me. I was like, I didn't really catch anything that was a best fit. And I'm like, this is the worst. And unless Alex has something that pops off in this last segment of the movie, it had to go to her. The wig is crazy. To me, it's like, I thought you were trying to blend in.
True.
What's going on here with the fit choice? And the wig is crazy. That's the most egregious part. The bangs, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, it's not good. And I mean, you're right. Like this, as soon as this popped up, I was like, geez, I'm writing this one down. But I did have a backup because this is like decently late into the movie. So early on, I wrote down, it was actually one of Justine's fit. It was just
good fit or bad fit?
It was okay. It was good. It was good. It was okay. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like this movie doesn't really have anything.
Yeah.
No one's getting some crazy other than Gladys, which is what we're talking about. But so she was talking to Marcus, I think, Marcus just saying, I think you should stay away from here for a while. The parents are pissed off. And she's got on like a sweater and it's got a big heart on it. It's blue. It's got or white with the blue stripes. I was just like, this is such a classic like teacher fit. Like a big heart or a sweater with a big heart on it with some nice stripes on it. I was like, this is a good teacher fit. I was fucking with it.
Yeah.
But then Gladys came in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like bulldoze anything else you were thinking. It's like, yeah, this is getting attention. Like we established that we do worse fits, and like it would be an abomination if we didn't mention this, because like that just stole the show. She had a couple, so it's just like a matter of fact. It's just a matter of which one.
Yeah, as she kept coming through, I was like, is that one? Is it that one? Is it that one? They were all kind of like on similar level. So I was like, I'm just got to go with the first one because it just slapped me in the face because it was the first time we seen her.
That was my exact thought process too. So as you're going through it, I was just like, yup. It's
certified.
Certified. Always. But the next award we have is our six man, or aka our Peyton Pritchard Award. So this goes up to someone that showed out in the movie, that not quite the MVP, but they showed out in their small role. So I'm curious to hear who you had as your six man.
My six man goes to Larkin Seipel.
Okay.
Who is the cinematographer?
Oh, okay.
So you mentioned, the movie, just cinematography was great. It looked good. I have a few shots that I just wanted to shout out.
Yeah.
The camera looking up and it's on the ground and it's getting rained on while James is climbing up the house. He's climbing up the side of the house and the camera's like getting rained on. I thought that looked cool. Justine's glass on the counter. It's focused on her glass on the counter when she's getting a drink. So, and behind she's out of focus, like going to the fridge, getting ice or something. I just thought it was a
cool I remember that shot. That was a good shot.
And then Alex's foot over the salt line. And then he just taps his toe. Oh man. Yeah. And then his parents start freaking out. I was like, this close up of just his foot hovering over the salt and then the toe tap. I was like, this is cinema.
No, I think it bent a little bit. I think the camera kind of turned with it. Like the little, that was hard. Just a little great sound. Yeah. Cause it was built up too. It's like, and not even said what was going to happen. We got a little,
over the salt.
Just going over the salt. I mean, we got it with, Justine, because she went over the salt and then we saw, so like, okay, that's what's gonna happen. But he doesn't know that. He doesn't know what's gonna happen. Which I don't know why was Alex playing with them? Why did he want to? Why did he want to see what's gonna happen?
I guess maybe he knew. maybe he knew, and he was like, I have to get into that room.
Yeah, I get
Like maybe he's like, I'm trying to like that was his plan, to get the stick, wrap her wig around it, and break it so the kids would go after her. And he's like, I have, there's no other way. I have to do this. This is what I got to do. He's the hero of our story.
He really is.
If it were for him, like, she'd still be doing this.
Oh, 100%. Alex is a hero. No, that's 100%. That's 100% the point.
Because Justine would have died, and everyone else would have been possessed.
Yeah, that was another thing that just came back to me. Justine freaking peeling Paul's face, and he was not even budging. I was like, That
was insane. She gets the gun. It shoots him in the throat, and he's still just fighting her. And she's like, okay, no, I gotta double tap. I gotta just
double tap. There you go. Now you know. Now you know, because of Zombieland. You always got to double tap. Always got. Yeah, the peeling thing was great. It's funny because I started an interview and someone was just like, no spoilers, but all I'm gonna say is because of you, I had a tough time using my peeler the other day. And I just immediately was laughing. I'm like, yeah, that was rough. He's like, no spoilers though. You'll get it once you watch the movie. And I was like, oh yeah, that's rough. But that's a great six man though. It's a great six man. I got 100% agree. Did you have another shot too? Did I cut you on the last shot?
Well, we talked about a little bit. Like you talked about when Paul was chasing James, and you know, there's just a lot of great shots in this movie. Those are the three that I wrote down that I could remember, because when we're watching the movie in theaters, right, like you can't go back. So like if there's something that really jumps out, I'll write it down. And I found myself like writing down a couple of them, and I'm like, well, my six man is kind of forming here.
Yeah,
six and
that's usually how it goes
with
those kind of things. Yeah. No, 100%. I went with Gary, which is Justin Long. It's more so to Justin Long because Justin Long is I wouldn't say he's like a horror movie guy, but he's just been in a couple like classic horror movies, and it's always just like fun to see him. And like there was actually like a pop in my theater because I think like the people that were there kind of acknowledged that, like, oh, it's Justin Long. This guy's always in horror movies, and he was also in Barbarian. So I think it was also like, oh, he's in another Zach movie. Like this is like his guy, and like, but like more so like he's this guy is like a funny little cameo to have, because to me it was the reveal. It was just fun to see Justin Long, and then also the wife reveal just killed me, like because I thought it was someone who was disconnected. He's like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll help you. And then just see the wife disapproval just in the background. I just immediately started laughing.
I mean, in his defense, he didn't know.
Yeah,
Archer came earlier, and his wife said no. It's one of those things where like you ask your mom like, hey, can I go to this party tonight? And she says no, so you go and ask your dad instead. 100%.
It was so good. I just love that part. Killed me, man. So I just Justin Long gets my six man for that, but just short and simple. Nice. Just love to see him in there. Next one, another self-explanatory award is favorite quote. So I'm curious to hear what was a quote from the movie that stuck with you, or you remembered that.
I gave it to Gladys, and she says this to Alex, and she says, I can make your parents hurt themselves. I can make them hurt each other. I can make them eat each other if I want to. Do I want to, Alex? Oh my God. I was like, just sent like a shiver down my spine. Like she's oozing creepiness. She looks creepy. She sounded creepy as hell. And right after, or right before this is when they're stabbing themselves in the face with their fork.
God, yeah.
She snaps the thing. They just start stabbing themselves. He's like, no, stop. She puts it in the water, and then she says this line. I'm like, oh my God. I just shivered down my spine. It was crazy. It was a bar. My favorite quote.
Yeah, and it goes to what we were talking about earlier, where we were saying like that tonal shift. Like she was playing, she was trying to play the character, being like trying to be, but like when she was just with Alex, where she just that flip, and that was the flip, and like it was just like, oh, like she means business, like, and she's evil. Make them eat each other. Then when she said that, I was like, I thought we were just gonna just eat each other. Oh my God. It's like, have you done this before?
100% she has. 100% she has, to know that because she said that with confidence that she can do that. She knows that she can do that. And she looks right into Alex's face. She's like, do I want to, Alex?
Yeah. That's haunting.
Like, and what can he say to that? And now he has to work for her and buy the soup and feed his parents. He had no choice when she tells you that.
Yeah, absolutely wild, which is why it was also my favorite quote.
Another certified, baby.
Yeah, which is both Gladys too.
True.
Like it
Both
just, yeah, it
Gladys.
just both Gladys, which is, it's funny as you were reading, like I have obviously I have the whole quote written here, so I'm just like looking at my thing, reading, just watching you read it word for word. I'm like, it's unanimous. Like,
Yeah,
it's the best. It's just such a quote that, especially off something again when you go in the theater, you can't rewind. You ever like whatever just sticks with you. You just grab onto it, and like that one was just like, oh yeah, like I remember that one.
That was a punch to the stomach. Like I said, like it just literally like a shiver. Literally, like when she says that, it's just there's no background music. There's no other sound going on. Actually,
besides the parents stabbing each other.
Yeah, just poking themselves in the face, stabbing themselves, and she just says all this shit. I'm like, can make them eat each other? God damn, man.
Yeah, evil, pure evil. They're letting you know this is pure evil you're looking at. This isn't like a cute little the witch that's just trying to like just try to help herself for a little bit, and like no, she's threatening to have these people eat each other. Absolutely wild. I just wrote haunting, and like I wrote the quote, I wrote haunting, and you let up everything else I was feeling. It's a great quote.
It's a great quote. That's why it's a certified. Quote. That's an uncommon one too. A certified quote.
Yeah, no, it is.
Quotes. There's so many lines in the movie, so
unless it's like a very like
that much better than everything else.
That much, and then the fact that we got worst fit too is crazy.
I
think that's rare. That is true. That being said, we got 2 more awards. Second last is the best scene. Again, self-explanatory. What was the scene that stuck with you?
I gave it to kind of like the end, I guess. Justine and Archer going into the house at the end. I mean, shit was just popping off. Like it was just so eventful. We have Alex upstairs running away from his parents. We have them fighting downstairs against Paul and James, and then Archer in the basement, and then Gladys pops out, and goddamn, that took like 3 years off of my life, and it was just so much happening. It's funny that I choose this as my best scene because, like I said, like that stuff is, I say that it's like not for me, but that one, like, it just sticks with me. Like it's not like I don't enjoy it, but like it was just so well done that like I have to give props for it.
And maybe as we keep doing this, you'll slowly start to turn. Maybe you're like 40, 60, and then soon maybe you'll get closer to 50, 50 because that what you just described there is kind of what I was talking to with my sisters after we watched together, and we were just talking about horror movies. And it's that thing that you said of like it's sticking with you. It's like some things just stick with you. Like with a comedy, it's like a funny line. An action movie, it's a set piece. But horror movies, for them, it's the things that stick with you. It's just like people are like, I remember 9 years old watching Jaws, and like that scene where like the like that just stuck with me. I was terrified. I never wanted to go in the pool. And it's like you don't like to be scared, but like that's something that is like I guess it's funny to say traumatized you. It's not traumatized you to a certain extent because it's like a movie. It's not actually like, but I guess it kind of is because some people were actually afraid to go in pools. Or like not pools, but go into the ocean because they actually thought a shark was gonna get them. But it's just that element of something just sticking with you, whether it's like a line in a rap song or just like a piece of art you see. It's just like that stuck with me, and then that's part of the elements what makes horror movies great when you have something that just like it just sticks with you.
Yeah, and the fact that for a non-horror person like me, he could do something like that. Like this movie was great.
Yeah. We didn't have the same scene, unfortunately.
Oh, damn. That's okay.
But I did love that scene though. It was one of those things where it's just like it was such like a big set piece of so many things happening on. I was like, am I trying to like this specific part, like when it was Alex and his parents in the Hey Johnny spot, or is it like the fight between Justine and Paul, or was it like this? So I was like, having trouble trying to like narrow it down. So I went smaller to just something that we talked about, which was Justine falling asleep in the car. And I kind of like we talked it through of like all the reasons why I liked it. It was just like that suspense building that we were talking about, where it's just like you see her, you're like the creepiness of getting out of the house. Oh, she's gonna just break the front window. No, where is she now? All you do is just have to hear. As soon as you hear the door open, you're immediately like your heart is like sunk. You're like, oh my god, oh my god, and that was my favorite scene because it just and then it was a cliffhanger. Because we don't know what's gonna happen to her. So to me, I was like, that's my scene. Especially because it was so early in the movie. I was like, I already was picking. I was like, that's my scene. and then if anything else like leaves gives me a bigger feeling or something I want to replace it with. But I was like, I'm just gonna stick to my guns. So I stuck with that one because that was the first scene in the movie that I was like, ooh, I really like that scene.
Yeah, that's a really good pick, and I mean it's the same thing that we were just talking about with mine. Like it's just something that sticks with you. You're gonna remember that. Like when when Alex's mom walks out of the door just holding scissors, and you're just like, what the fuck? And Justine's sleeping, and you're just like, oh, this is not good. Walks right up to the door and pauses, and you're just like, what's gonna happen? Nope, I'm going around the car, and as soon as she opens the door, like you said, that feeling of your heart just sinking. You'll remember that. And then when she just clips the thing of her hair, and I'm like, wait a second. What? Yeah. What just happened? Why is she doing that? What? And then it just cuts. Nope, we're going to Archer's story. I'm not going to tell you more for now. And then you're just sitting there like, oh my God, I need to know what happens next. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Have you seen The Shining too? We're kind of mentioning it earlier. I don't know if you've seen it before.
No.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I'm not a horror movie guy, man. I don't see none of these horror movies.
That's fair. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You just saw it on accident or something. But. Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, this isn't a spoiler, but like Cregger was talking about how there's a specific scene in the movie that he's always been chasing. He watched the Shining, and there's a specific scene. I won't say what it is. That there's like a scary scene, a specific shot in the movie that is just like, oh man, like that was something that stuck with me. And he was like, I want to create something in here that like sticks with someone. I don't know what it's gonna be. But like as we're talking about, you have something that's probably when people say weapons, you're probably gonna be like, oh, the ending scene, like that, all that. That's the thing that's probably gonna stick with you when you think of weapons. To me, it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be that hair scene. I think that's gonna be that, and probably the kids chasing her. It's something that I think is just always gonna. When someone says weapons, I think those are the two things I'm gonna think of.
And Alex's parents stabbing themselves in the face.
Oh with a fork. Yeah. There's a lot that's gonna stick with that. I think he reached 100%. He reached his thing of this is gonna stick with a lot of people. There's a lot of memorable things.
The fact that you have all of this in a movie that we said like is very cohesive and makes sense, and that's told in a fun way and has interesting set pieces and makes you feel different things. Like this movie has it all, man. This is fantastic stuff. I was so hyped for this movie. The trailer looked amazing, and it delivered. And this, you could sense the juice coming out of me right now. Like, this is what I love about movies, man. When you see something, you get excited about it, then you go to the theater. I watch this on IMAX. I'm here on the big screen with a whole bunch of people, and the movie just delivers, and it's a great time. And now I could talk about it with my buddy, and like I just love movies, man. This is what art. This is
the life.
I love it.
This is like Hannah Montana said. This is a life. Hold on tight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Like I don't know why I don't know why Hannah Montana came to me in that moment, but it just felt right. With that being said, let's get on to the MVP. Last but definitely not least, who's your MVP of the movie?
No surprises here. I bet you could have told for an hour ago who my MVP is. Zach Cregger is my MVP. Incredibly well written, super intriguing premise that was well executed. The story structure was great. He actually scored the movie himself with his band. He has a band with some of his buddies, and he said that like as they were writing and as they were shooting, like after shooting, they would like edit a piece and then like make a piece of music to go with it, and they kind of had some music before they even started shooting and stuff, but like he scored the thing, he wrote it, produced it, directed it, like, and it's all fantastic. That's crazy. Like, yeah, he's the MVP.
How's it? That's crazy. He's multifaceted like that. Like this guy comes from being like a comic and then also doing like acting, and this guy got into like, I guess no, if you're a comic, you're a writer. That's not normal. I mean, that is normal. If you're a comic, you're a writer. But then directing, and then also he plays music too. That's crazy.
He's just like that, I guess. I don't know. He's
that guy, yo. He's that guy.
He's like he's not one of your friends. He's one of those friends that's just good at whatever they do. You know, that guy that pisses you off because they just do something and they're good at it.
Yeah, no, I guess that is him. I'm excited to see his career going forward too. Like, I like it when this happens. Like, we obviously got the established guys. Like, everyone gets excited for the Nolans and like I'll say the Fincher because like Fincher's my guy. He's a fan base, the Tarantinos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But when you get this new blood of directors, like you got your Kuglers, you got Jordan Peele, still a young director because he's only made 3 movies, so I'll still put him in that category of young director. And now we got Zach Cregger. And it's just like I just like it. I just like that there's new blood because people will be like, we're still looking at the older guys because like, we're still excited to see their movies, but I like what there's we get an injection of new young talent.
Yeah, the new face of the league.
Yeah, exactly. who's trying to be face of the league? Cougar's taking a run for it right now. Sinners was like a big hit for him this year, and Weapons is going to be a massive kick. It's weird to think of Denis as because Denis been doing it for a while, but it almost feels like for the mainstream audience because now he's really getting the stuff with Dune that he's pushing in that category. I feel he's got enough movies that I think you could, but I don't think people want it. They don't want to yet. They don't want to put him in the Nolan and Tarantino, but I think he's closer than a lot of people want to admit.
Absolutely, he is. He's made a ton of great movies. I have no problem putting him in that conversation because I mean, Nolan's a great director, but I mean, it's also the way it goes in today, just the way society is, I guess. You know, people have there's this public opinion that Nolan makes these amazing movies and like, and it's an event and you got to go see it. And it's not wrong. But as soon as, you know, like this is public opinion, everybody just latches onto it. And then it just like snowballs and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And Denis never had that with any of his old movies. That doesn't mean they're not all great. And
no, it's true.
And then you have Dune, like you said, and now it's starting to snowball. But Nolan's had this snowball for years now. Denis only kind of just started getting it. But like, if you put their filmographies up next to each other, you can go hit for hit.
Oh, 100%. But it's just, at least box office wise, I mean, box office wise, it gets different because like James Cameron is the king. James Cameron is the king of box office. This guy's got like 4 movies and he's got like $10 billion.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, he's got more than 4 movies. I'm joking. But like, he doesn't have that many movies, but like his box office is crazy. But Nolan's box office like, he made a movie about Oppenheimer that made $1 billion. Not many people could do that. If someone told, a biopic that's 3 hours long, there's not many people can make $1 billion off that. That's almost damn near impossible, I'd say. Tarantino
he's selling out IMAX theaters a year out from his next movie.
Yeah, you can buy tickets for the Odyssey, but actually jokes you can't because it's all sold out already for the opening day. That's unheard of.
Unheard of.
It's unheard of. So like
But does that mean like that's more like his
hype.
Celebrity.
His hype and marketing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hype, it's marketing, it's celebrity. Are his movies good? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But does that mean he's like head and shoulders a better director than Tarantino, Denis, you know, all these guys?
100%. No, it's a good point. But with that being said, I have the exact same MVP as you.
Perfect. I had my mouse hovering over the button for that.
Yeah, because I had to go to Zach Cregger because it's the taking chances. It's original. I said it's all from the beginning. I said it's all the things I'm looking for in a movie. I talked about the cinematography. Well, actually, not even the cinematography. It's the characters too. I mentioned how the characters were interesting, and I just like it. I like his visual style. Like I want you to go watch Barbarian. That does not necessarily have to be a thing for the podcast, but I want you to do Barbarian. And I don't even want to preface it by saying like any of like styles or like how it's similar because I just want you to go into it blind to a certain extent. Like it's about a girl going into a basement, so it's very like that's a niche in itself. Basement horror, like don't go in the basement, and it kind of plays off that trope and stuff like that. It's still smartly written. I think Weapons is better, but that's just my opinion. Maybe some people think otherwise.
Okay.
And I'm curious to hear that one. I feel like I don't want to say I don't think you'll like it as much, but you won't. It's different. It's different than this one. So like I don't want you to go in the expectations of being like it's gonna be similar to Weapons. He takes chances. He takes chances. So I'm curious to see how you think his swing went on that one.
See, I could see kind of what you're saying that like maybe you would think I won't like it as much having not seen it, just because from what I can tell about it, it seems more like classic horror. And this one I liked a lot. I talked about how like the first half of it I liked even more because it's more like that thriller mystery aspect of like what happened to the kids.
Yeah.
That stuff I love. The second part where I said like, you know, the classic horror stuff, I could appreciate that it's super well done, but it's still just not really for me. So like that, I feel like it's maybe something similar where it's like I can appreciate it's super well done, super well written, but like maybe it's still not for me. That doesn't mean like I can't watch it. And if you recommend it, I'll check it out. But
that's why I tiptoe with it, because that one leans more into the horror. It's less of a thriller. The thriller aspects of it too, of the movie, I think are top notch. And I am very confident that the things that I think that you would like from this movie, like I'm like, he's definitely gonna like that part. But there's more elements of the horror aspect, and that part I don't think you'll like. I don't know if that will completely throw you off from the movie. But those elements, like those performances and like just the scenarios that are in there, I think work well. But the horror aspects, I raise my eyebrow. I'm like, I don't know how he'll feel about that. But I think you should watch it regardless, because again, you'll never know until you watch it. We can just talk about whether we 100%. Think you'll like it or not. But I think you should watch. I think you should watch it.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
Shout out Zach Cregger.
Shout out Zach Cregger. Hell of a movie. Go ahead. You had something to say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I had to throw in like a mispronunciation, because it's not a film room podcast if I don't mess up someone's name. So
that's right.
I just had to say his name. Even though I said it right all the whole podcast, and then at the end I call him Freddy Krueger. Basically, I don't know what happened.
Freddy Krueger. Yeah,
Zach.
It's like Ryan Krugler.
Yeah.
Krugler. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we got three certifieds.
3 certified. Certified Fit Check, certified Quote, and certified MVP.
Want to roll?
That's a rarity. I think 3 is our max. I don't think we've ever gone more than 3.
No, I don't think so. We talked about this too. We had a little talk about like what's our top, like what's our lowest kind of thing. Lowest, it doesn't really matter. Lowest is 0. But but top, I don't know. It's tough. We've never had a full slate. That would be crazy. I think we'd have to like throw a party or something. I don't know. We got to do something crazy.
True.
End the podcast. But like, hey guys, it happened. We got 6 certifieds. That's the end. Thanks for listening. It's the last.
We did it. Yeah. It's been a good
That's
run.
all we're doing. This is what we're doing. We're doing the podcast until we become one, and then we have all the same certifieds, and it's just like, and it's like, all right, that's it. We're too much alike.
Well, because
podcast is ruined.
At that point, we'll just have the same opinion about everything, and there won't be any discussion. It'll just be like,
exactly. So that's it. Yeah, when we get 6 certifieds, podcast is done.
Podcast is over. Damn. All right. Well, I mean, so if we're 5 for 5, and then we get to the MVP, and whoever says it first, if you have the second one, you got to change it. If you
I guess so.
To keep going, or like, how do you got to be?
We got to do a paper reveal. We got to be like, no, and then we actually like switch pages. Nah, different.
Yeah. How come that says Slumdog Millionaire? We're talking about freaking Zodiac. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Zach Cregger, if you're listening, shout out to you, man. We are very much on the lookout for whatever you're working on next. We will be there front row opening night.
100%.
And thank you, Film Family, for listening. We really appreciate it. Be sure to check us out on socials. We're on TikTok and Instagram at the Film Room Pod. We are on YouTube, Film Room Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Film Room. Check us out. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review. 5-star. Because we haven't got 6 certifieds yet. When that day comes, you can give us a 0-star review. But
because it'll be done anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So from now until then, 5 stars only. We will see you next week. Dion, take it away.
I want you guys to remember, those kids did rip apart an ancient witch, but don't forget that they also messed up that dude's lawn. You see what they did to that lawn?
Come on.
And peace out.
Later.